I'm so excited for you all to be here today because let me tell you, this craft that Alicia is bringing you is chef's kiss.
Yes.
It's such a good craft for if you are making a present for like a baby shower, a newborn, or really if you want it as like a shelf sitter for yourself.
Yeah, it would be really cute as like a birth announcement or anything along those lines, which you know that a lot of the stuff we make is customizable. So like everything on this, you can change like their birthday, their the colors you use, all of that. So I really, really love this project. It's one of my favorite ones that I've actually made. So, and it's super easy.
Yeah, it is. It's just, I mean, we are going to be using torch paste. So if you all are not familiar with torch paste, it is a paste that you apply to wood. You use your heat gun to heat it up, and it gives you that wood burned look.
Yes.
Very, very professional. We love using torch paste.
Yeah.
And that is something, the link for torch paste should be down below this video. It's something that we get off Etsy.
Yes.
So there's someone that come up with this specific paste, and we love it.
And there's also something out there. It's a torch pen. I see it advertised all the time. And I'm like, I haven't bought one, but like low-key want to try to plug it into my Cricut and see if it would write with my Cricut.
Like the quill pen? The torch quill pen, we have one.
Do we?
We do, because I've played around with it, and it's basically the same thing, except you use the small, like a thin, like the basswood or something, and you write on it. It's the same concept. Oh my God.
Okay, so lots of things on the craft table today. It looks like a lot, but like this project is very, I want to say it's pretty simple. There's no like crazy steps that you're gonna have to do. But let me just start by showing you guys everything you're gonna need. So let's go overhead and I'll kind of go through the supplies. I will say, so basically this project, we're taking a photo and turning it into an SVG. So this is the whole thing. Like you could do this with, I want to say virtually any photo. I haven't tested it out with wood burning and like an actual picture of like people, but we're going to be doing it with a handprint, which I think is so cute. We're just using a little baby handprint. If you wanted to do this with your own baby, all you would have to do is paint their hand, stamp it, and take a photo of it. And I'll show you guys all those steps afterwards, but that is technically part of the supply list, is to have a picture of a handprint.
Yes.
And it's even better if it's like someone you know, like if it's for the baby that you're doing it for. And then we've obviously got our stuff pre-cut. This is the torch paste. So this is the real deal. This is what you guys are gonna need. Can they see that, Sadie? Am I centered? So this is the torch paste. We have an Etsy supplier that we get this from. It's like it's literally an orange paste. So pretty crazy looking.
It's so fluorescent. Honestly, it's like super pretty. I love it.
I know.
It's just, I love that color.
I wonder if they color it orange. No. Or if it's naturally orange, because it's torch paste, so I wonder. And it comes with a spatula, but I'm gonna be using a paintbrush today. You're gonna need a weeding tool for cutting your vinyl out. I've got a stain. I'm using just like a natural stain. I would not recommend using a dark stain on this project because the wood burning part is very dark. So like if I went in here with like a Jacobine, or you could probably get away with Early American. I know that's a popular stain. But I would stick to a lighter, like natural. Golden pecan is a good option. Something light, and you need something to stain with. We've just used a cut up t-shirt. You're gonna need some gloves, a measuring tape, something to sand with. I've got more gloves just in case. And then I'm using stencil vinyl. So I use this on a lot of our projects. You could probably get away with permanent vinyl. You just need to make sure you're sanding your blocks like super well, because if you go in with permanent vinyl on wood, it's gonna rip your wood grain up a little bit. And then I've just got like a really well-loved strong grit mat that is actually not super sticky anymore. Honestly, honestly, I don't even rate our mats based on what they say they are. I just feel it.
Yeah.
I'm like, standard.
Yeah.
Or like strong grip.
Light grip.
Yeah, so I don't really base it off. And I feel like if you're an avid Cricut user, like y'all know what I mean.
We do have a couple questions. Couldn't read the brand of
torch paste?
Maybe.
This is literally torch paste brand. Like, I think if you search this on Etsy, that's what you'll find. Yeah. And then Minwax for our stain brand. The torch paste does not have an odor. The stain does have an odor. Actually, I never smelled this, but like, it smells like nothing. It smells like glue, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, it might smell like glue a little bit.
And the only thing is, once you use the torch paste, the heat gun on the torch paste, you're going to start smelling burned wood.
Yes.
But that's, I mean, as far as odor, when you burn it, that's the only odor that I have ever smelled.
Yeah.
It's just that actual wood, like, changing.
Yes, yes. I want to show you how you can do this with your phone directly to your computer. So if you're taking a photo of an image, which is the whole project is turning an image into an SVG. Usually your handprints aren't going to be like a picture. It's going to be like a painting of a handprint. So I'm going to take a picture with my phone and I'm going to airdrop it to our computer, and then I'll show you guys how to plug it into Design Space and actually remove the background. We're using Design Space for this entire project. I saw someone was asking what program we use, Design Space, for the entire thing, because they have, you have to have Cricut Access to have the background remover tool.
Yes.
Okay, so if you are a Cricut Access member, you will be able to remove your background. I want to say there are apps on your phone. If you don't have Cricut Access, if you just use the free Cricut Access, you may be able to remove the background on your photo through another app. I wish I would have gotten some apps for you guys, like off the top of my head.
But if you take the picture and it is black and white, like if you take the picture of the hand and it's black and white, there may be a square around it if you can't remove the background, but you could just contour that square out.
Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. So there's ways around it. You know, there's ways to get like the image that you want. So what I'm gonna do, I've just got my phone here, and I'm just gonna take a picture. I'm gonna fit this perfectly inside of my photo box. And then if we're overhead, this is what my image looks like. Just like that. You guys see that? Okay. And then what I'll do is airdrop this. I'm wondering, is our airdrop on that computer? It would go straight to Tanner, right?
It should pull up.
Tanner Bell?
Does it have an airdrop option? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's try it. There it is. Okay. We're going to go ahead, accept that, and open it in Photos.
So maybe they have changed. Someone said you don't have to have Cricut Access to remove the background anymore. That might have been one of the updates that they gave them. But before, I know for a fact that you did have to have Cricut Access, because when I did made those stickers,
The
I did
doggy stickers?
the doggy stickers. It was a Cricut Access feature at that point. But Cricut just did a big update. Yeah.
So I'm just going to go upload my image. Let's browse, and let's see if it just went into my recents. Let me see if I can scooch this to the side, and we'll just kind of click and drag our image in. Okay, so I just click and drag my image. It might load. Come on in. Maybe I should save it. I'll save it to the computer. Make it a little bit easier. Let's see, it's saved in my last time. So you can airdrop this to yourself, or you can email it to yourself. Totally whatever works for you. Last time I emailed it to myself and saved it in my downloads. This time I just uploaded it to my photos. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the image in. Maybe, there we go. Wow, that's a large image. So whenever you're doing the background remover tool, sometimes it takes a minute to load everything. I'm gonna select complex because we are gonna be getting into like the nitty gritty of this handprint. And then I'll select continue. And you can go ahead and hit remove background. This is gonna remove the bulk of the background. And what we'll do after it does that, it will take a second because it is a very detailed image. We're gonna zoom in super close. And I am gonna just make sure that there are no gray areas here in between the fingerprints. I want it to be as detailed as possible. So this actually did really well when I pulled it in. So we're not gonna have to do a whole bunch. But what you can do, this is my favorite tool to use in the background remover, is this select option. What you do is zoom all the way in. I mean, we can get close, you guys. Can you see the gray areas? I'm hoping you guys can see that decently well. What I do is just click on these images. Do you see how that disappears? Magic. It's like it just knows what to do.
I know.
I love that. So what I did was just go in here and click on any gray areas that I didn't want. And I will say that when you guys go to cut this, it's going to be very, I think Lauren actually came in when I was cutting it. She was like, is your machine okay? Because it's like.
I was sitting at my desk and I was doing a bunch of computer work, and I heard this awful sound and I was like, what is that? And so I got up and went in our workspace area and I was like, is there something wrong with a Cricut? Like, what's going on? What is this? And I was just like so confused.
I was like, no, it's just me. I'm just cutting handprints. And it's because you get all these little crevices, and you don't have to go in and get all these teeny weeny ones, but I do like to get as detailed as possible, because I mean, this is like an actual handprint of like your baby or your friend's baby or whatever. So I try to get in there, and the TV is like really far away from me, you guys, so I'm trying to see what I can see. But I feel like that's pretty good. And it'll just depend on how you get the print on there and how much detail that shows. You may take like 10 minutes to do that. I think the first time I did it, it took me a lot longer to actually go in and delete out some of that gray area. And another thing you can do, if you want, well, I zoomed in way too close. If you want to take just the erase tool, you can change the eraser size right here, and you can just erase like that. Obviously we don't want to do that, so you can go back if you like erase too hard. If you want to make this teeny weeny, you can go in just like this and kind of erase that way. I don't want to do that right now, but if you needed to do some like fine detail work, you could do that way. And then that's it. So we are not doing a print then cut image. We're going to be using the actual just simple cut image. I'm going to go ahead and upload that. And there's our little handprint. We're gonna add to canvas. Okay, so whenever you pull your image into Design Space, it is literally gigantic. It's 14 by 13 right now. I want to first of all lock it. I wanna make sure this is locked. What I'm gonna do is take a measuring tape, and we can go overhead, and I'm gonna measure, because this image right here is the real image of the handprint. I want this to be like true to size on my block. So also, it's a good thing to recognize if you're doing like a bigger kid's handprint, you don't wanna use a block that's like too small. So make sure that you're getting a block that's big enough. This is just a 4x4 cube that I've got here. And I think this is like 3x3. But what I'm going to do is measure from the outermost edges of the handprint. So this handprint is about 3 inches wide. So what I'm going to do back in Design Space is change this 14 to 3. And that's going to give us our true to size. It's also going to fit on our 4x4 cube that we have. And then what we'll do underneath it is add our text. And we're just going to go, we've got 3 sides to this design. If you can go overhead, I'll show you guys. We've got the side with the handprint. I'm just going to put the birthplace, and then we've got the name. That's my baby. And then I just did an initial on top. So now that we've got the handprint side, let's go ahead and we'll just start with this one. I use the High Hopes font for this. We're just going to put Knoxville, Tennessee. Shout out to Knoxville. Mm-hmm. And then in our fonts, you can go to System Fonts, and that's all of your downloaded fonts. They're just right there for you to use, which I really like. So all your MGL fonts are going to be right here.
Are you serious?
Yeah, girl.
How did I not know this?
Yeah.
I guess you're the font queen and I'm not, but I literally, like, I learned something today. I did not know I could go to System Fonts. Yeah. I just always type in the fonts.
I know. So I did that forever too, and I was like, listen, Linda, because, you know, you download all the fonts you want to use. I don't want to go through all of this other fonts. I want just the fonts I downloaded, and it won't just be MGL fonts. It'll be like, if you download any fonts.
Right.
It's any ones that you've downloaded onto your computer. Also, sign language fonts, love that. I think we have high hopes. And if not, I can show you guys where to get it from. There she is, Knoxville, Tennessee. And then what I'm gonna do is make a square. I'm gonna make this 4x4, and let me double check my measurements on my cube. This should be, it's like 3 3/4 almost. I'm not good with measurements, you guys. I'm an eyeballer, if you didn't know that already.
I'm an exact measure.
Yeah, Lauren is an exact measure. That's how we're different, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna make this square in Design Space 4x4, and I'm just gonna change it to a tan color. So this is like the base of our of our cube. Sorry, I couldn't spit it out. And I'm gonna bring this to front. I'm gonna bring my handprint to front. So just like that. And then I'm gonna bring this to the front, and I'm just gonna shrink it down until it fits within my square. So just like that, you can highlight it all. I'm gonna align them. I'm gonna center them horizontally, and there's one side. Easy as that. And that's honestly like probably the hardest part, was like cleaning up that handprint and all that.
Yes.
So you can do whatever you want for the other sides. I have seen people do like the weight, the length, like all of the stats, like the birth stats, which I think would be really super cute. But if you just want to like keep it simple, what you'll do is go ahead and plug in 2 more 4x4 squares. And I'm gonna do an initial on one. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my square brown. And I'm using the same High Hopes font for this one. And all I'm gonna do is just make this really big. And you could just do the letter, but I really like doing the dark. If we can go overhead, I like to do this dark so it looks like it's inset. You guys know, like on the classic kids blocks, they look like that.
Yeah, like they have the, like if it was like a blue or a yellow or a green block, it has that around it. And then the letter is colored as well.
Yes, and I love that look. So what I did for that is I go in here, grab a shape. I'm just gonna get a rounded square, and I'm gonna put this right in here. I'm just gonna leave a border. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm just gonna leave a border around it, and then you can go ahead and just center that, and then you can go and pull your R in. Let me bring that to the front so y'all can see it. And I'm gonna also change the color so you can know what's going on. So it would be like that. Easy, right? And then we'll do our third one. This one has the name on it. And we use the Freca script font for this one. So I'm gonna do a 4x4 square. Let me change the color. And the script font is called Freca. This is one of my favorite fonts. Also love that name. I don't know why. I don't know where that name came from, but I really like the name of that font. Freca. It sounds very sassy. Okay, so we don't have that one, which is fine. Let's go into the Maker's Gonna Learn website. So if you're new here and you haven't been on our website, this is the Maker's Gonna Learn font page. So we've got tons of different categories. We have some new fonts, some sketchy new fonts, which is awesome. But I am going to just type in Freca into the computer. I love that. Okay, here's the Freca font. It sounds like I'm saying a cuss word, but I'm really not. I'm really not. So this is just another little hacky hack. Just hit save on your document. Let's overwrite the cloud version. I'm gonna save this, and then I'm going to view and reload, and my font will be in there. So whenever you download a new font onto your computer, you will have to reload Design Space.
And make sure that you save.
Make sure you save, yes.
Yeah, you can lose your work if you do not save.
Yes. There's Freca. That's our font. And then I'm just gonna duplicate this and do Ruby Claire Griffith. And I want y'all to know, this is just a little design tippy tip from me.
I love how it's a tippy tip and a hacky hack.
I don't mean to call it that, I swear. Okay, so whenever you could just technically hit enter, but I like to have more control than that. And honestly, look at the gap between Ruby and Claire, and then look at the gap between Claire and Griffith. That bothers me.
Okay, but wait, I might be teaching you something here.
Okay.
But were you gonna do them all separate?
Yeah.
Okay, go to the top.
You want me to use line space?
Nope. I want you to go to advanced.
Okay.
Ungroup to lines.
Stop it.
You taught me something and I taught you something.
Dude, that is revolutionary. I didn't know that. Y'all, I've been duplicating my lines. I've been duplicating my lines since I've been working here. I did not know that. That's awesome. Okay, so let's go back if you guys missed it. So I don't like the space in between these, and Lauren told me go up to advanced, ungroup to lines, and then you can scoot
all of them are separate.
My mind is blown.
So you can ungroup to letters, and all of your letters are going to be separate, and you can turn your letters that way, or you can ungroup to lines, and all of your lines are going to be separate.
I love that.
Also, I want to address, Jessa asked a question. We don't actually, I don't want to get all super off topic, but I do want to let you know that we see your question. Mm-hmm. When it comes to space on your computer, you can get external hard drives if you need to, if you do get a computer that has a smaller hard drive. But I am the type of person, like, the more space I have, I'm like, yes, like, the more space, the better.
Oh, so absolutely.
That's our recommendation. But if you don't have the money for a larger space on your, for a bigger hard drive, you can get external hard drives to keep all of your stuff on, just so you know. And
listen, I will download, if I could just go on to the website and download all the fonts automatically, like, I would do that. I download so many fonts and files and, like, don't really use them, or I do use them and I just keep them. I don't, like, go and delete anything.
Right.
And my computer is fine.
Yeah, I mean, font sizes are very small anyway.
Yeah, and
so
they're not going to mention that.
Yeah, they're not going to take up a lot of room.
Yeah. So, but Webby one day, you can never have too much hard drive space. That's the truth. So once you have designed everything, what you're going to do before you cut it is click and drag. I'm going to attach everything. So it's going to turn it all the same color, which is fine because we're not printing vinyl. We are just printing on stencil vinyl. We are printing on stencil vinyl, and I keep saying printing. We're cutting stencil vinyl. We are not printing today. We're going to be cutting on stencil vinyl, so it doesn't matter. And then after you do that, you're just going to go to make it, and then there is your stuff, and you will just hit continue, select your Cricut device, and then it's going to pop up and ask you to select the material, and we would click stencil vinyl. That is an option.
See if that will refresh so you have the option up the top.
Oh.
It's not connecting for some reason.
Continue. It gave me the option, and then I selected maker, USB. Here we go. We want this one, right?
Yeah, the one that's connected.
And then it should pull up our base material. There she is. And then you can just browse your materials. What did we do? Stencil, vinyl. Listen, I'm a hardcore stencil vinyl user. If you are painting or wood burning or anything like that, stencil vinyl. And I will also say this is the 143 vinyls. I don't know. So they have two different paint masks. This is the mint green one from 143 vinyl. Tried and true. This is the best one. And I've used the Oracal blue for years. I think it's 851. If you're a sign maker, you'll know. But this is like the best. And there's a yellow on there that works really good as well, but not for wood. I'll get on a wood tangent. I'm not even going to do that. But I won't do that to y'all today. Before we get started, what you're going to do, so I've got my wood block. This thing is heavy. My first one was not this heavy. So what I'm going to do, this is relatively smooth, so I'm not super worried. Now, like where it was actually cut is a little bit rougher, but I'm going to try to do my prints on these smoother edges. What you can do, and what I recommend, is starting with a lower grit and then working your way up to a higher grit. So actually, this is my lower grit, this is my higher grit. And so I'm gonna sand 3 different sides. You could sand the whole thing if you wanted to, but you just wanna make sure that you sand it until it is completely smooth.
Why don't you explain to them the different grits of sandpaper, because I really think this is truly important if you're working with wood.
Oh yeah, okay, so I like to think about it like this. So the higher the number, the more little grits there are, and the more grits there are, the smoother it will be, if that makes sense.
So
if there's
the
like
higher the number, the smaller the particles.
Yes. So if there's 80 grits, it's going to like rough up your surface more than 100 grit would. So in my brain, it was always backwards. And I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. But so like a 400 grit, you're going to be like smooth. You're going to be smooth. And 80 grit, you're going to be like roughing it up. Like if you need to glue something together, you're going to sand both things with 80 grit, smash them together because it's going to have crevices from where you sanded, if that makes sense. So I've got 100 and I want to say this is probably like a 160, 140, something like that.
Yeah.
But you can feel, like I can feel and know that this is smoother than this one.
So the lower the number, the grit on your sandpaper, just to reiterate, the lower the number, the rougher that it's going to make your wood.
Yes.
The higher the number, the smoother, better finish you're going to have.
Yep. And Carol, listen, I feel you. I was right there too. I had to, like my husband probably explained that to me like 15 times and I was like, I'll get it. Just sand it really well until it's smooth all over. This side is pretty smooth. So I'm just, and you don't want it, if you go to a really low grit, it's going to make streaks on your wood and like not cute. We don't want that. So make sure you're using the right grit. And those are pretty smooth already. And then just make sure that they are wiped off really well. And what we'll do after that is go ahead and apply our stencils. I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, so what we're going to do is just line up our little square on here. Can you guys see? Can y'all see that? Okay. And then you're just going to kind of squeegee it on there. And then what we're going to do is peel off our masking. Maybe. We might get it. And you want to use like, I don't use a strong grip transfer, but for some reason this is super sticky. Just use like a standard grip transfer tape for this. These letters, like this particular font is very delicate whenever you mask it. So just be super careful when you're pulling off your masking tape, not to pull up the middles of your letters or anything like that.
Can I just say, like, Trisha is coming in clutch with all of these great hacks today, too.
Okay, let's hear it.
She said, I do a lot of sanding in my shop, and I hate the dust everywhere. I lay extremely used transfer tape under my project and helps reduce the dust in the area.
That's genius.
I mean...
Dang.
You are like blowing my mind today.
Listen,
coming
I
up
love
with
a problem solver.
Yes.
I love that.
We're all about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so there's our first side. So cute. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and apply our burn paste to this. And I've actually worked with this wood burning stuff before, the torch paste, and I stained first. And it just doesn't look as good. So I'm going to wood burn first and then stain. So what I'm going to do is apply my torch paste. So I've got gloves and they have a spatula, which you can actually like apply this on here with. Just like this. You do not want it thicker in other areas. So you kind of want to spread it out so that it is very even and spread all the way over every single detail. So just spread it out like this. A good even coat. You do not want it to be super thick. If it's too thick, it'll bubble up whenever you apply the heat. It's going to bubble up and then it doesn't look as good, I think. So make it really smooth. If you get too much, take your squeegee and just kind of like, you can like scrape if you get too much and you can scoop it back into your jar. And I'm going to go over the letters as well. I'm going all different directions also because I want to make sure I'm really getting in there with the wood paste.
So you, correct me if I'm wrong, Alicia.
Okay.
You can use removable vinyl. However, we like the stencil vinyl because it doesn't bring up the wood grains as much as the removable vinyl. But if all you have is removable vinyl and you don't want to go buy the stencil vinyl, it can be done. Just know that it may bring up small portions of like the wood.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, that the permanent and removable vinyl, they just stick really well. So
Yeah.
it sticks to the wood grain. The stencil vinyl, it doesn't have as high of a tack, but it still gets the job done. So what you'll do is put that all on, and then we're just gonna take this off very delicately. And voila. Oops. That stencil's sticking to my gloves. Okay, and then I'm gonna let it dry for a minute, and then I will weed out all those little parts. But while it's doing that, while it's drying, you wanna wait about like 2 minutes in between before you start actually applying heat to it. And I think it actually says specifically on here, apply a thin layer, and then let the paste absorb or dry for 2 minutes. Then you take the stencil off. We only took the stencil off already, which is fine, because that's how I've done it in the past. But you definitely do want to let it sit, because it doesn't burn as well if it's not absorbed into the wood a little bit.
Right. Francis says, what about the Cricut brand that came in my bundle? If you're talking about the transfer or the stencil vinyl, then yes, the Cricut brand should work. But Ty also brought up a good point. He said maybe this would be a good use for Dollar Tree vinyl, because it's not as sticky.
Yeah, definitely. And Lord knows I bought a bunch of that. When I saw that at the Dollar Tree, I was like, give me a buggy.
Yep.
I was like, I'm
Give
trying
me
it.
a buggy.
I'm trying it. Oh, I saw a thing on Facebook the other day, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna dip my brush into the gel for this part. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and peel this off. I do not hesitate to peel my stuff off. I am gonna let it dry a little bit before I peel off the middles, but be very careful when you are taking the transfer tape off of this particular font, because it's very dainty and elegant and skinny. So just gotta be super careful. Dainty. So we've got both sides. Can you guys see what's going on here? And then I'm gonna just be super careful, and I'm gonna go ahead and put my R on. I'm gonna take these gloves off. It's hard to play with that sticky transfer with these gloves on. But we're like, we're getting there. We're almost done.
Sam, the name of this paste is called Torch Paste, and we did have someone tell us that it was sold out, but there was a comment where she gave us the, and Sadie, if you don't care to go back and find that, and we'll repost that, she found a recipe that you could make your own torch paste.
Okay.
Do you push buttons for elevators, or do you mash them? You mash them. You mash buttons. You don't push them.
Oh, I think I say push. Okay, listen, I want to show you guys something that I did.
Actually, I think I go in between both, now that I think
maybe
about
I
it.
do too. I can't, I don't know. So I accidentally weeded out the wrong part of the R, so you guys can see right here. So I weeded out the R. If that's the case, my R is going to be wood burned, which I wanted to do the opposite. But we'll just show you guys both ways. Since we already did this one, you guys can see what it's gonna look like if you chose to do the other way. So this R will actually be dark, and then we'll do a dark border too. I'll add a dark border, and so then we'll have it both ways. But I didn't want you guys to be like, hey, that's not what she thought she was doing. So make sure if you do want it this way, you need to weed out that inner square. So if you want this look, weed out the inner square. If you want this look, you need to weed out your R and then the outer border. And I'm just gonna pull this off. This one will be easier to actually pull off the transfer tape because it's not so detailed. We will get there eventually. And this side was not sanded nearly as smooth as, this is like the cut edge. This is like the rough edge of the wood. So I'm curious if you guys will be able to tell the difference between like the smooth edge and the rough edge.
I guess we'll find out.
We are fitting. If it would ever come off, it keeps re-sticking. Okay. We're getting places, people. Here we go. Here we go.
Or maybe it's called scorch pen. Maybe
scorch pen. That's it, Lauren. That's it.
There is a quill pen. That's for the foil. Is the quill pen for the foiling? I don't remember. There's a couple different ones.
Well, I was thinking the quill pen was for paper quilling, but it's not. Okay. Well, I just don't know, and I'm ready to use that scorch pen. I'm really excited.
No, you know what? We'll go back there and look at it.
Yeah, we'll look at it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to do the outer edge. I'm just going to do the R, and I'm just going to take my paintbrush. You could put a little dollop on there with your spatula if you wanted to. And after you do this so many times, you'll kind of get your own little groove going. But again, we just want to make sure this is a super even, not super thin, but even. And you don't want it to be super thick either. So just make sure you cover all the corners and don't go outside your stencil. Oh yeah. Can you guys see better there? Okay. And we're just gonna fill this all the way in. Make sure your stencil's stuck down if it bubbles up. So I'm just weeding out all the middles of these letters. Just want to make sure to get it all out before we hit this with the heat gun, because it gets a little aggressive. And sometimes whenever we start burning this, it takes a little bit longer to like see the burn start. With wood and the heat gun, you have to be very careful, otherwise you will burn the edges. And I did a little bit in the sample, and we actually may a little bit today too, and that's just the nature of heat and wood. I mean, it's just naturally going to be happening. But if you let it heat up for a longer amount of time, you don't get so burnt around your edges, if that makes sense.
So the lower the heat, but the longer the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't get those burnt edges.
And even like further away, if you want to do like the highest heat setting, just keep it further away, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and move everything out of the way before I start with this heat gun. And that way I don't want to, like, you know, it'll burn it up. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start applying the heat. Can you guys see this? Is that good? Okay. Because I want you guys to see the magic. I want you to see this happen. And this is a very durable, tape like surface. Make sure whatever surface you're using is either like flame retardant or, you know, like have something that is not going to be flammable. Make sure everything that would catch fire is not close by. This is not a flamethrower, it's just a heat gun. I'm just I'm just being precautionary for you guys. Carol says move everything that is flammable. Been there, done that.
Yeah, okay, you're good with the closed captioning now.
Okay, I've got this on the highest setting, and I'm like 6 to 8 inches away. It's gonna take a while, and you're gonna be like, what the heck, it's not working, but it will. You just gotta give it some time, and it'll start turning that brownish black color. I'm hovering over the Tennessee just so you guys can start to see it change. So you guys can see that it's starting to burn. And you can see the orange is slowly starting to disappear. It's not so cool. Okay, listen, my vinyl did not come dot on my eye, and I checked it and it was not there. It wasn't even cut out. But just imagine there's a dot over the eye, but like, cute. That's cute, right?
I know, I know, I love it. 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 I know, I love
Yeah, it's a little, it's not bad. I can touch it. I'm gonna go ahead and just rotate this over. We're just gonna keep going. We'll keep chit-chatting and just make sure you've still got your area cleared. Make sure your heat gun is not like overheating. You know, just be careful and be aware when you're using tools like this. Listen, I don't know what happens, but like after a minute, this stuff is like, oh yeah, okay, let me kick it into gear. And then it like all turns black really quickly.
Yeah.
It's like it reaches a certain temperature and then it like, changes. Yeah.
And watch it. Ooh.
Sorry. That was aggressive. I'm so sorry.
Push it on up a little bit. There we go.
Good.
Yeah.
I didn't think that I don't remember it taking so long. So sorry if you guys it's like watching paint dry. Just watching me burn the wood. I'm sorry. So this one's burning pretty quick, which I'm really close. Listen, like I told you guys not to get close, and I still stand by that. But if you want to go fast, if you want to do it faster, but whenever you get close like this, you run the risk of burning up your edges on your block. So it definitely gives it more of a rustic look.
Okay, yes, so.
Okay, so after you guys get everything burned, you're gonna have soot. So what I like to do is take my piece and I will take just a piece of used transfer tape and literally lay this on top of here and just kind of make sure it's cooled down before you go to do this, which this side is cooler than the top. I'm just gonna kind of press, and then pull it up, and you can see it grabs a ton of that soot. So when we go to stain, it's not like smudging around, and you can even like just push on it to make sure you're getting, if there's any areas that you see like have more, you can kind of go back over them. So that's pretty cool, little hacky hack.
Your hubby says you are killing it.
Okay, and then what we're gonna do next is just stain it. And I never found my screwdriver, so I'm hoping that this just pops open for me. Actually, I can use this I used this guy last time.
Yeah, I've used that. You can use weeding tools. There's a lot of things I use to open paint.
We get creative around here with our paint opening mechanisms, our stain opening mechanisms. So this is just a natural wood stain. You don't want to use anything super dark because it's not going to let your letters shine, like they're not going to pop.
Right.
So I'm using a natural stain, and we will start where we started. We'll start staining where we started burning. I'm just taking my t-shirt, and you are literally just going to go on here. Just be very careful, like around over top of it. I try not to like wipe. I want to kind of dab. Just, if this were just like a wooden block, I would probably just wipe it on there. But for the purposes of not smearing our burning, I want to just kind of dab. I mean, how cute, you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna stain this back square so the whole thing is stained. But y'all, honestly, this one turned out like better than my sample project. Okay, let's go overhead.
Oh, so, wow, that is so good.
Isn't it cute? You guys, I love it. Here's the sample one, so it's a little bit smaller. But like, I love these. You can go ahead in front so you guys can see it from far away. Ty says we need to mic Sadie. Honestly,
we do. There is a mic back there. She needs to start picking it up.
Is it on? It's on.
Sadie sounds like a Disney princess. Sadie sounds and looks like a Disney princess. So yeah. I don't even know if they know what you look like, but she's always behind the scenes. So anyways, it's like way past time. Well, it's 2:40. It's not terrible.
It's not that
I'm going to
bad.
come over and sit with Lauren.
Okay.
Let me put the cap on this stain so it don't keep stinking it. Hey guys, welcome back to the Maker's Gonna Learn YouTube channel. My name's Alicia, a craft producer here at Maker's Gonna Learn, and today I'm gonna show you guys how to wood burn with your Cricut. So here are all the projects that we're gonna need to complete this project. We're gonna be making a cute little Easter tag with some carrots on it and a name. So we have these little wooden tags right here. This is gonna be our base. We've also already went ahead and cut our design. How cute is that? This is all Maker's Gonna Learn text files as well as cut files that we're using. And then I've got the Minwax Early American stain. This is probably my favorite color of stain that we use. And also brand. I love the Minwax brand. You're gonna need like an 80 grit sanding block. I've got yarn. You don't have to use orange and green, but I'm gonna show you guys a cute little yarn trick to make the top of it look like a carrot, which is super cute. You're gonna need gloves for stain as well as for this, and you're gonna need a heat gun. If you've got an embossing heat gun, you're probably gonna wanna use a bigger, like hotter one. So we like this one a lot. And then you're also gonna need your torch paste. This is like gonna be the secret to all of your Cricut wood burning projects. This is gonna literally make your project into a wood burning masterpiece. It comes with a little spatula, but we're gonna actually use a little makeup sponge, and then you're gonna need a burnishing tool, and that's it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go onto makersgonnalearn.com. I'm gonna select cut files, and then we're going to search Easter, and that's gonna pull up our carrot cut file. We've also got tons of other cut files that you can choose from. And if you wanted to use another Easter file, you totally could, but we're gonna be using this Happy Easter with carrots, and we're just gonna go ahead and download that. And then I'm also gonna download a font, and we're gonna be using Mary Catherine font. That's the name of the font we're gonna be using today. We have thousands of fonts for you to choose from. So we're gonna be using this Mary Catherine font right here. Go ahead and download that. And then you can pull them up in here if you want to. Make sure it's downloaded. If it's a zipped file, which this font is, we're gonna go ahead and click that to unzip it. And then we're gonna click again and make sure that we install the font. After that, we're gonna go back into Design Space, and we are going to upload our carrot image first. And we're gonna pull in the SVG because we're gonna be cutting. We're not doing a print and cut. We just need the SVG because we're only cutting. So go ahead and upload that, and you can click it and add it to your canvas. So we're gonna go ahead and ungroup everything. So I've selected it. I'm gonna select ungroup, and then I'm going to select the green only. And then we're gonna drop down here to contour, and we're gonna get rid of the Happy Easter. We only want the green stems, and you'll have to go through and select all these, or you could have just hit hide all contours and clicked on just the stems, and that would have worked too. So now we've only got the stems, only have the carrots, and we just need to plug in our text. So we're gonna go ahead and type out the name, and we're gonna change that font to Mary Catherine. Go right down here. This is the font we're gonna be using. Super cute, one of our faves. Whenever we pull that font into here, the letters are kind of close together, so we're gonna space them out a little bit just so it looks better. I think that is good right there. It's kind of just whatever you prefer. And then we're gonna make it as big as the carrots. After you get your text to the size that you want, you're gonna click and drag, and we're going to weld everything together. This is gonna put it all on the same mat. That way it cuts from the same stencil vinyl. And then we're also gonna resize this to our tag. So depending on where you're planning to put this, you need to make sure and measure, and then change up here at the top the sizes of your project. So our tags are 5 by 2 3/4. They do go at an angle at the top, so I don't wanna make it super tall. So let's go ahead and adjust this to 2 3/4 because we know that's the width, and you can zoom in. So our width is 2 3/4, and it made it about 3.9 in height. And then after you do that, you're gonna go ahead and make it. We're gonna select on mat, continue. So once you pull it over here, we're gonna be cutting this on stencil vinyl. You don't need to mirror it when you're using stencil vinyl. It's just like a regular permanent vinyl, and you're gonna continue, select your Cricut, And once that loads, you're going to select your material, which is going to be stencil vinyl. Now, if you only have permanent vinyl on hand, you can use it. Just be very careful when you're using wood. It may pull up your wood a little bit, so make sure you really sand it down super good before you decide to use permanent vinyl. We're going to be using the stencil vinyl though, and you can keep your pressure at default, and then you'll go ahead and send it through your Cricut. We've got our Cricut stencil already cut out, so I'm going to go ahead and take the backer off. Just be very careful when you're pulling that off. And throw that away, and then we're just going to line this up centrally. You can kind of see the tag through the back of the stencil, so I'm just lining her name up with that bottom edge, and just kind of pay attention to the tops of the carrots so that they don't go off the actual edge of the tag. And then I'm going to use a burnishing tool, and I'm going to put that on there really good. And then we're going to go ahead and take that transfer vinyl off of the top. You just want to make sure that your stencil isn't coming up with your transfer tape as you peel it off. It tends to a little bit, especially with stencil vinyl. So you just have to be super careful. So once you've got your transfer tape pulled off, we're going to go ahead and put on gloves, and we're going to apply our torch paste. So I'm going to go ahead and open our torch paste, and I've got a little makeup sponge here that we can use. Make sure you're wearing gloves and protective eyewear for this. And I'm also going to use our little spatula just to kind of scoop this out and put it onto our makeup brush. We don't want a super heavy coat of this. We want it to be nice and even. And if there is any excess, we can use our squeegee to kind of scrape off any excess. I'm also making sure my stencil is stuck all the way down. That way none of this torch paste seeps up underneath our stencil. So we're just going to apply this with a sponge. And once you completely cover it, we're going to let it sit for about 2 minutes. So once you've applied your torch paste, make sure it's a good even coat. If you need to use your squeegee to go through, you can kind of scrape off the excess if you need to. I use this sponge to kind of thin it out really good. And then we're just going to go ahead and take off this stencil. If you need to, you can use your weeding tool to get the middles of your letters out. Once your stencil's removed, we're going to let this sit for 2 minutes, and then when that's completed, we'll go ahead and apply the heat. So we're going to go ahead and apply the heat to our tag. Make sure you keep it about 6 to 10 inches away. It'll take a little bit longer, but it won't burn the actual wooden part of the tag. It'll only burn where we've applied the torch paste. So you just want to make sure to keep a good distance. Once you completely burned this, if you need to, go in with some masking transfer or any kind of like tape, and you can put this on top of your tag and just kind of rub over top of it and then peel it off, and it's going to get off any extra soot. So we've got a little bit of black around here. Want to do that before you stain it because it may smear on your tag, and then you can just kind of take your finger and make sure that there's no extra anywhere before you go in with your stain. Now that we've got the soot off of our tag, I'm going to go ahead and pop this stain open. And once again, we're using Early American, which is really pretty. You could also do like an antique white. You could do a gray, would be really pretty for Easter. But we're just going to use the Early American and just make sure you get off all the excess. And we're just going to go ahead and stain. I'm just using a paper towel for this. You could use an old t-shirt, whatever you have laying around. And then you can let that sit for a couple minutes and then just wipe off the excess stain. So it's going to look something like that. Once you've got your stain done, we can go ahead and do our twine. Now you don't have to do the orange and green twine. I just thought it would be a fun way to incorporate the carrot colors since we didn't really incorporate them on our actual tag. So we're gonna go ahead and cut a pretty good length of this orange. This is what it's gonna hang from. And I'm just going to tie a knot in this. And then I'm gonna kind of double this up, just like this. And then we're gonna weed it through our tag. We're gonna go from the back into the front. And then I'm just gonna grab this knot. And you'll get something like this. And then what we're gonna do next is cut some of this green off about the same length. And we're just gonna tie this in a bow. I'm gonna tie it just like if you were tying your shoes. I'm gonna tie it right there at the base. And I have this doubled around too, so it's a little bit thicker. So we've got a little green bow, and then you can just cut this right here. And there you have it. What did you guys think about wood burning with the Cricut? I feel like this is such an easy, fun way to customize your wood projects. It's perfect for customizing your Easter baskets. And I feel like there's so many different creative opportunities that you can use when you're wood burning. If you're interested, you can check out the Maker's Gonna Learn website. We've got tons of cut files, tons of fonts for you to choose from, and we would love for you to be a part of our community. If you like this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to us so you never miss any of our crafts. We loved having you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Hello, 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 my crafty friends. Welcome back to makersgonnalearn.com, your ultimate guide to die cutting. In today's free resource, we are going to teach you guys how to master ironing on wood. We are so excited to walk you guys through all the crazy tips and tricks we have for mastering ironing on wood. This is something we've been doing for the past 2 years or so, and I honestly think it'll change the way that you craft. We are so excited to teach you guys exactly how to iron on any piece of wood you want and to kind of walk you guys through what wood is best for ironing on. So it's going to be a lot of fun to teach you guys all about using heat transfer vinyl with any type of wood. And one of the biggest reasons why we recommend using heat transfer vinyl on wood is because it is super permanent. If you guys have ever made a wood sign and a few weeks later your regular vinyl is peeling right up off that wood, this right here is the #1 thing that you should switch to right away, because this is going to adhere from the heat. It's going to activate it and just go really well onto your wood. And in today's video, we even have a special free gift from Maker's Gonna Learn right to you. So if you're not a member of Maker's Gonna Learn, you can get this absolutely free gift where you're going to get the font and the cut file used in today's project. What that's going to do is to give you a great understanding of what Maker's Gonna Learn is all about, so you guys can definitely try it and then decide if you would like to become a member. We would love to have you, as we want to teach you guys how to master your die cutting machine. Our goal at Maker's Gonna Learn is to teach you guys through inspiration, education, and then to motivate you guys to keep using your machine week after week. So let's go ahead and start jumping into this project. The first thing you need to do when thinking about ironing on wood is we highly recommend finding nice, smooth wood. So right here, we have a great circle that we're going to link for you if you would like to be able to make this exact project. Today, we're going to teach you how to make an awesome wreath for your front door. Now, this wood right here is just a wood circle, and why we love ironing on these is because it's smooth. Guys, when you're at the craft store, you want to have nice, smooth wood. Not only is that going to allow you to stain it, paint it, anything like that really well, but what it's going to allow you to do is to use the heat transfer vinyl and adhere awesome. If your wood is more textured or rough, you're going to have a harder time applying heat transfer vinyl to that. Another thing to look out for is bowing wood. So any wood that is bowed or warped or anything like that is usually not a great indicator that heat transfer vinyl is going to work too well with that wood. So stay clear of that. Get you some really great wood, and a majority of craft stores have great resources. You can find walnut hollow in almost every single craft retailer. We love their wood selection for the most part. All the craft stores have great selections, but we also have these circles that are very affordable linked for you guys in the resource. So be sure to download that and get the full supply list so you can make this entire project start to finish to follow along with the video. But in today's video, we're going to stain this wood and we're going to let this dry for a few hours so that after we let it dry, we'll be able to apply the heat transfer vinyl with no problem whatsoever. So if you have ever thought that you could not stain wood and then apply heat transfer vinyl on top, that is not true. It just has to be very dry. Now let's touch on painting for a second. I love putting heat transfer vinyl on wood. But on occasion, if you do not have the proper paint, you cannot paint the wood before applying heat transfer vinyl onto it. And that requires even more dry time. So be sure to go with a chalky, matte finish paint, and to still be careful, because when you use paint versus stain, you run into more potential of a craft fail. So be careful about that for the best results possible. So let's go ahead, put on our gloves, and start staining our piece of wood. Here is our absolute favorite, #1 ride or die stain. This is the Minwax Jacobean, and boy oh boy, if you have not followed us on YouTube for a while and did not know this was our favorite stain, you are going to get to know it very well in today's video because it does such a great job. So I'm just going to open my stain, and a fun little hack is you can use the back of a weeding tool and it'll literally open it just enough. And please, when you're working with stain, to be sure to use any type of glove or anything like that to protect your surface. Now we have a piece of poster board under our piece of wood today, and then we have a cut up piece of a t-shirt that we're going to use to stain. This is a great craft hack that you're going to be able to use when you are wondering what you should stain with, especially for these smaller pieces that don't require necessarily a full staining pad. So now you're going to take it and you're going to work in the grain. You do not want to go against the grain, you want to go with the grain. So you just want to start and just start staining, and look at how great this is looking. I love this dark color. It does wonderful in my home, and I think it does well in almost every home in my opinion. There's a way to find Jacobean to fit in your home, but use whatever stain you would prefer. And again, we're gonna let this dry really, really well. I even have a little tip for you guys. If you are impatient crafters like we are, you may want to have a heat gun or something like that so you can heat this to fasten that dry time. Now, if you're also impatient, be sure to do a nice light even coat. Notice how I'm stretching this stain out, working it in, making sure I'm not leaving any blotching or anything like that, because then it would not be able to dry as fast as this will be after we work it in. All right, guys, now that you stained it and you're looking it over, doesn't the grain look amazing? Now what I like to do is to find a nice dry spot on my fabric, on the shirt, and I like to go over the entire project just to make sure that the stain is even. And this is go again, help with that dry time so that you can go ahead and craft even more. So you just want to make sure it's all worked in really nice and well. So see it, all the stain that came up, that is going to just help it dry even quicker. And then the final tip I have for you is to pick up any type of heat gun, and then you just want to heat set this for maybe 20 to 30 seconds. Now, before putting away your gloves, you want to go ahead and put the lid back on your stain. And then you'll be able to go ahead and throw anything away while you set this to the side and let it dry. We are going to jump into Cricut Design Space and start designing this awesome project. All right, guys, so for today's project, what we're going to be featuring is Accents 9 from Maker's Gonna Learn. If you guys have not checked out our membership, we have over 2,000 amazing cut files that you guys are able to download and use for any of your projects. And our yearly members also have access to our font library. Now today we're featuring 2 amazing fonts that I cannot wait to share with you guys what we are designing, because really you're going to be able to design so many amazing projects with the free resources available today. So even if you're not a member, go ahead and download this right now so you're able to check it out and give it a shot, and then you can kind of decide if membership would be right for you. Because if you love today's project and you're going to love designing your own, chances are you're going to love other Maker's Gonna Learn projects. So be sure to check out how to become a member down below after you are able to make your awesome project. So now we're going to just look at Cricut Design Space, which I have right here. And the fonts we're featuring, if we have any members watching, is Happily Ever After. Or Happy Ever After, excuse me, and Cobblestone. Now this one right here is going to be a little bit more of an advanced project for our friends that are brand new to Cricut. So if you are someone that has been Cricketing for some time, you are gonna have a lot of fun learning how to design your own project like this, because this totally looks like a cut file in itself. But again, we are taking the Accents 9 file and matching it together with the Happy Ever After and Cobblestone fonts to make a really adorable project. Now you may be saying, Tanner, what is this brown circle on the background? Guys, this is one of our favorite hacks here at Maker's Gonna Learn, and this is to measure the circle you just stained and then bring it in as a circle on Cricut Design Space so you can see the exact placement of the cut file. And what that's going to do is allow you to really help with sizing and so much more. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to move this over to the right, and we can see that the circle is 12 by 12. So we're going to zoom out just a tad bit, move that over, and then what we're going to do is select the circle and we're going to duplicate. Now we already have the circle here, but if you need to add a circle of your own, just go ahead and under Shapes on the left-hand sidebar, select Circle and size it. So you can select Circle right here and then go up to Width, and you can just type in 12 by 12. So really easy, either way you may need to do it. So what we're going to do now is focus on designing the home. So the home is featuring our awesome Happy Ever After font. So all we need to do is click Text, and then you can come over here to Fonts, and you'll look under System Fonts for Maker's Gonna Learn fonts. If you have any questions about downloading fonts, we have great tutorials on the YouTube channel or the website on how to download those to your computer. It's very easy, so that's awesome. So we're gonna click on Happy Ever After, and we're going to type out home. So right now you can see this is what it looks like when you spell it all out in the lowercase font. Now we're going to use the letter space and just bring it together. Now look at how awesome that looks. So what we're going to do now is we can go ahead and change the color to white. And what we're going to do, since these letters are touching and we want it to become one amazing piece of heat transfer vinyl, we're going to go ahead and weld that. So let's go ahead and select this over on the layers panel, and then come down to the bottom of the layers panel, and you're going to see the button that says weld. So all you need to do is press that, and you've been able to weld your home together. So now you can just size it down just a little bit, and it's going to be awesome. So you can just leave that there for the time being. And then what we're going to do next is grab another text box, and we are going to use the Cobblestone font today. as you can see, cobblestone. We're going to type out W-E-E. So right here, you can see that's all we need to do with this font right here. So we're going to scale it up. Now, why we decided to go with this is because we're actually pairing up our cobblestone font and our happy ever after fonts. So we're going to, again, just go ahead and change this to white. And then we're going to just easily bring this up right here, and you can go ahead and scale it down a little. We'll worry about the exact sizing very soon. Now what we're going to do is go back to our happy ever after font, and we're going to create 2 more text boxes, one with the letter S and one with the letter T. And we have a little hack for you with that letter T. So we're going to go with S, and we're going to change it from cobblestone to happy ever after. Just like so. We're just going to be able to scale this up some. And we're going to move all of these letters a little bit. And you can kind of start playing around with it as needed. So the S is going to be right here. And then we're going to turn this S into white as well. So again, it's kind of pairing the 2 fonts together, which is really cool. So we're even going to, I think, move it over a little, maybe unlock it and stretch it out, just like so. And then we're going to get another text box with the letter T. And then we're going to scale this up and bring it over. But as you can see right here, guys, if you have it like this, the way the font's designed, it's going to, kind of be a little awkward standing so far out due to the little cursive, little thing on the edge of the top of the T. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the awesome flip right here, and we're going to flip horizontally. So just like so, we just flip the T, and that little simple hack allows us to bring that together right here and kind of play around with it a little bit. So just like so, you guys can see this right here, super fun little hack that you're able to do. And again, we're going to kind of stretch that out just a little, just like so. And then you're going to be able to change that to white as well. So that's what I'm saying, guys. This is a little bit more advanced, but totally worth it for any of your projects. So what you're going to do next is duplicate the home by selecting the home that you were able to weld together and duplicate. So you're going to bring that down here, just like so. And we're going to put it right in between the W and the E. Does it not look like it has the perfect spot for it right here? It's so crazy. So you're going to just position that right like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to upload your accents file. So you can just go to upload. And if you've already uploaded it, I want to share with you guys a cool little hack. So you can click view all recently uploaded images. And if you type out in the upper right hand sidebar that's for search, type out accents. And then you're going to see we have uploaded this file quite a few times, but what we're going to do is select it and then insert that image. So right here, you're going to see your image, and what we're going to do is we are going to turn off a few of these additional layers right here. So we don't need, this is the only one we need, the first one. So all we did was hide it right here on the right hand sidebar of the layers panel. So you can hide, unhide, hide, unhide by clicking that eye right there. So now you have your little accents, which you can see right here. And what we need to do now is contour a few different things. So we can go to contour, and we're just going to take out anything besides these 3. So we're going to contour out that, and we're also going to contour out this side as well. So now we have our 3 little accents, and we're just going to tilt over, and we are going to scale down, kind of position these where we want it. and then we can change that to white. And now we're going to be able to duplicate this. But actually, before we do that, I want to make it just a little bit smaller. Now we're going to duplicate this. And then we're going to bring it up to the top of our home over here. Just like so. And then what I'm going to do for this home is I kind of want to unlock it and stretch it out just a little. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this in right here, just like so. Maybe make it a tad bit smaller as well. Just like that, you are able to design your very own home sweet home. Now guys, if you're overwhelmed, if this is challenging for you, that is our mission here. We want to level you guys up every single day to make amazing DIY projects at Maker's Gonna Learn. We want to give you guys every single tool, resource, tip, and trick to master really amazing projects just like this one. So if this is challenging for you, be sure to download the resource guide. The resource guide is going to include a complimentary supply list, step-by-step instructions, and print that out, watch along with it, pause the video, rewind the video, follow each step by step, just like we did, so that you're going to be able to not only be a more confident crafter, but you're going to see that after you learn a few tips and tricks, the software, you're absolutely able to master anything. But this is a really amazing project. So we just had that for reference. So we're going to select the one we just designed and we're actually going to delete it. So right here, we're going to just move this one back over. And what we need to do, last but not least, you can now remove the back circle. So the circle is not anything you're going to cut. It was just there for reference. And this allows you to design and say, hey, I need this upper part of the circle to be saved for a bow. So I really only have the better half of the circle to design my home sweet home. So this is honestly irrelevant, just for visualization purpose. So you can now delete it. And the absolute last step we need to master this project is to select all these layers. Take your mouse, drag it over, and then release. It's going to highlight every single layer over in the right-hand sidebar. And what I want you guys to see is we are going to press weld. So it's going to turn all those letters, all those different layers, letters, etc., into one beautiful welded image. This is irreversible, so please be sure to duplicate this if you need, hide any layers that you may need or anything like that. So here we go. Now you can see this is one beautiful image and it's amazing. So what we're going to do now is we are going to be able to cut this out using heat transfer vinyl to make an amazing project. So we're going to press make it. You can see it on our mat. Now, when you're working with heat transfer vinyl, if you are brand new to heat transfer vinyl, we have some amazing videos telling you all the things you can do with it. All of our members have great resources, more printables, and more training on using it. So I highly recommend checking that out if you are not already a member. So be sure to watch those trainings. But heat transfer vinyl has built-in transfer tape, as you're about to see. So with that being said, you apply it shiny side down onto a mat. So that means you need to turn on this mirror over on the left-hand sidebar. When you turn a mirror on, look what happens to your design. It is completely flipped. So that is good for any heat transfer vinyl project. Be sure to flip it, fonts especially. So now you can press continue. And you're going to want to connect to your machine. You can connect via USB, you can connect via Bluetooth. Those two are the only ways you're able to. Today we're featuring a Cricut Explorer Air 2. So now we can, have this set on, when it's set on custom settings, you can select it from the drop down right here. So we're going to select just regular iron on. And yes, if you have not noticed, iron on and heat transfer vinyl, the exact same thing. So everyday iron-on is going to be used when you're cutting Caesar Easy Weed or any of the iron-on light from Cricut or everyday iron-on. So just select that and press done. Now you can choose if you need to apply more pressure or not. If you have a blade that is pretty fresh, you may want to leave it on default, but as time, goes by, you may need to give that more pressure for a better cut. Now what we're going to do is load our material onto our mat and load it into the machine. All right, my crafty friends, we have been able to cut this out, and now we're going to take a true control knife, which, by the way, if you do not have one of these, they're literally a game changer sent from God for our crafty abilities. So you're going to open this right here, and now you're going to have the best craft knife ever. Please be careful, it's very sharp. And you want to kind of hold this up to the light and see how far over you were able to cut. So I'm going to say the 9-inch mark right down here, and then flip it over again and kind of see where you can cut once again. And look at all of this extra heat transfer vinyl you now have for yourself. So what you're going to want to do is peel this up, just like so. And now you're going to want to grab some type of weeding tool. You can choose from the Cricut weeding tool, that is $12.99, or we really like this pin weeding tool from 651 Vinyl. It's about the same price, but what we love about it is it has a really nice fine tip, and also it has a lifetime warranty, which is really fun. We love products with that lifetime warranty, as you can see, the one from Cricut kind of bows, and we have to get a new one probably every month or two, just because we craft so very often. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start in a corner, and you just want to kind of pick this up. Now you want to fill out the vinyl if it's your first time weeding. If you're a pro, just go ahead and weed this like normal, but if you're new, take it nice and slow. And as you can see, you just want to peel off this layer. This is still your built-in transfer tape on the mat, and it's going to be a little sticky there for you. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take it and weed it. All right, guys, we were able to weed out this beautiful project. As you can see, you always want to make sure you get the center of any of these letters with your pin tool or weeding tool. That's why it's so important to have such a sharp utensil to use. So now you're going to be able to take this, peel it up, and notice this has built-in transfer tape, so you don't have to buy any extra transfer tape with heat transfer vinyl. It's all in one, and it's going to be perfect to go ahead and prepare to iron on. All right, guys, so before you apply down your heat transfer vinyl piece onto the wood, what you want to do is to grab your bow. So this would be the time where you build out your bow with your ribbon. This is a really easy bow tutorial. We have a few on the website that you're able to look at, but you just want to kind of have it placed where you want it. So have that where you're imagining it, and then you want to kind of place down your vinyl decal that we've been able to cut out. And you can kind of see this is where we're going to place it. And then you're going to see where the bow is going to go. So once you're happy with the two together, you can now simply move your bow to the side. And then what I like to recommend is to grab an easy press mat underneath the wood. So we just grabbed an easy press mat, and now what you're going to want to do is to turn on your Cricut Mini Easy Press. Now you can feature any easy press, and even some irons may be able to use heat transfer vinyl on wood, but we would not recommend it whatsoever, just because of the undistributed even heat on an iron versus an easy press. Easy presses are more expensive, but they have evenly distributed heat, which is very crucial for today's project. Now you may be saying, Tanner, why in the world would you recommend this mini easy press over any other easy press? Here's why. This mini easy press, you're going to be able to get on any area very intentionally to make sure you can give it the proper heat that you cannot give with the larger easy presses. So even with bow, little pieces of wood that are bowed or anything like that, this will actually be able to work really well with it. So just turn that on to level 1. This is for 300 degrees. When this goes from orange to green, you are going to be good to heat your wood. All right, guys, the mini easy press is preheated. What we're going to grab now before starting to heat this project is a Teflon sheet. We love Teflon sheets. You can get these all over the place on Amazon, at Cricut, 651 Vinyl, wherever you prefer to shop, you will be able to grab one. And what we're going to do now is pick up our easy press mini level 1, and we're going to start right here in the corner, and we're just going to apply pressure for a few seconds. And you can move this as it is double coated, so you just want to slowly move this. Very different than regular easy presses, but that's why we like it. So just kind of want to work with it. Now there is adhesive on your heat transfer vinyl, so it is stuck to the wood, but let me tell you, it will move if you're not careful. So be careful with it, kind of hold it in place, you know, go slow, be sure to work with it for the best results, just like I'm doing right now. And really, once you've done this a few times, you're going to realize at how easy it is and not hard whatsoever. So get excited for working with heat transfer vinyl on wood, because it is going to be so much fun, especially when you see the big reveal. Okay guys, after you've went over the entire project, you're going to start seeing some bubbles appear on under, you know, between the heat transfer and the transfer sheet. So right there, you're going to see some bubbles. That is good. You want to see some bubbles. That means that the heat transfer vinyl is adhering to your wood. So once you have went over it, you can kind of peel it up to make sure everything's adhered. And if it is, you're going to be able to just remove this heat transfer sheet. You're going to be able to throw this away, because now you have your beautiful project. Look at how awesome this is. The wood may be a little warm, so just be careful. But if you just move your hand over it, it feels amazing. And that's one of my favorite perks of working with heat transfer vinyl. So now that you have that done, what you're going to do is you're going to then take your bow, and with your hot glue gun, I love this Lynn Lilly hot glue gun, you're going to want to position your bow where you would like it. So all we're going to do is just add a nice amount of glue right down here. Again, more the merrier, because you have quite a large bow. And then what you're going to do is apply pressure. And you want to hold this for 15 to 20 seconds, and then you'll want to be able to fluff your bow back out, and then we're going to add some amazing greenery to the sides. All right guys, so what we're going to do now is all I did was I took this large piece of greenery that we purchased from Hobby Lobby, and we just cut two smaller identical sized pieces off, just like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to then glue it over on each side. So we're just going to, again, take a glob of glue right here, and then you're going to want to adhere each side right here. So again, with hot glue, you want to apply quite a bit of pressure. All right, my crafty friends, we were able to glue both of these down with just nice globs of hot glue. You want to hold those for 15, 20, 30 seconds until they have been able to dry. And now you have an amazing front door hanging. What I love about this project is it is a complete DIY, from adding your own greenery, staining your wood, creating your bow, and designing this beautiful home sweet home with your accents and fonts. Wow, was this not an amazing project? If you guys are loving this project, be sure to consider becoming a member of makersgonnalearn.com, where we teach you guys how to use your die cutting machine and make amazing projects every single day. And we cannot wait to see yours. So if you decide to recreate one of these projects, be sure to use the hashtag makersgonnalearn on social media platforms so we can share it and be able to comment and just see it. So thank you guys so much for making this project with us. What did you guys think of this project? We had absolutely so much fun making it, and I cannot wait to see you guys make your very own door hanging. Now, if you're wondering how you're going to adhere this to your door, I highly recommend a command strip. So definitely check that out and enjoy making this project. Again, if you want the free cut files, the fonts, and the resource guide to go along with this project, consider it a free gift from Makers Gonna Learn to you. So be sure to check out that as the first link down below. If you guys have any questions, let us know, and be sure to subscribe for more videos like this over on our YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, friends.
Okay.
What do you think of today's project?
I love it. I think it is so cute. I love the concept behind it. It's just,
I mean, we're cutting wood with my Explore Friends machines and my Maker Friends. Like, this is like probably going to give you guys the best results for wanting to work with any wood material with your Cricut. So that's what we're doing today. I'm so excited that you all have joined us. If you haven't seen it, let's head over to the craft table. I'm gonna head over right now, and we are going to dive into talking about what we're making today. I'm so excited. This is it. This is it. I am so excited. So let's go over the project now that we kind of prepped you guys with what to expect. We are going to show you, we're cutting this wood, the blue. This is actually cut veneer, so we're gonna cut the veneer. This is a sheet of veneer, so it's very thick, but it's flimsy. So it's thinner, but it's sturdy. I really love it. And what we're going to do today, what you need to know about this project, I'm going to teach you how to cut all of this, so have no fear at all, actually. But all you need is, dun 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 dun. How many of us Cricut beginners, like my friend Lisa, who hasn't even used their machine yet, know that there are different blades for your Cricut? If you did not know, there are different blades for your Cricut. My friend, you have learned something today at boot camp. Lauren, we can go home. We're good. So we're gonna use, we're done. See you guys tomorrow. We are gonna use the deep cut blade. Now the deep cut blade is exactly what it sounds like. It is a deep cut blade for thicker materials, unlike vinyl, unlike heat transfer vinyl, unlike, you know, anything. This is for, I use it for wood. I use it, some people use it for thicker magnet sheets. I used like paper thin magnet sheets last time. And it is so exciting. Megan, our job can go home. Megan just learned what wood veneer is. Again, y'all are learning things, which we are so excited. We're gonna leave, like we already taught you all enough. I love it. But no, you all are gonna be in for a treat today. Let's talk about supplies. Let's hop over to overhead. There's a few supplies for today's project. I'm not even going to lie to you, but what I want you all to really see here is how beautiful this project is, y'all. I mean, this does not look like you made it with your Cricut, but it's actually really easy to do.
oh, super easy.
I mean, you're gonna mix in heat transfer vinyl, cutting with the wood, a brief design space. I mean, not much in design space, y'all, really. And then if you notice, this is like separated about an inch. So it's an inch off the wood. I'm gonna teach you my secret for doing that. And now that you know the 3 different steps, the supplies will make sense to you. So what we've got our 12-inch wood round, we have a sanding block, we have a tape measure, we have our brown heat transfer vinyl, we have our wood craft cubes. This came in a pack of 36. And what this is gonna do right here, this is gonna allow you to create that like 1-inch dimension, separating the 2 pieces of wood. You're gonna love that. You also need your paint. This is the DecoArt Americana Multi-Surface Satin. Guys, if I had to tell you a secret paint that is so good, this is it, all right? Next, we did do a little wood stain. We did that before the show, so that's awesome. We have a little wood piece right here. I have a little hack for you. I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised because it's gonna work with, this is my secret weapon. Like, for some reason, I had a bad taste in my mouth about DAP Rapid Fuse when I was going to be able to use super glue until I found Rapid Fuse.
Yeah.
Have you worked with this, Lauren?
I have, and I absolutely love it.
Okay.
We actually use it on our
Did we really?
arch back here. Yeah.
Oh, honey, I love this right here. I actually found this and it's so good. Like, I love it. So you're going to enjoy that too, and it's going to be so fun. I'm seeing some comments. I want to make sure we're all on the same page at the same place. I'm seeing some comments, Lauren. People are saying, wait, this isn't a beginner project? Wait, can I actually do this? Y'all, we are going to be here until you feel 100% confident. We'll answer all your questions.
Yes.
We're going to go slow today. What I want to prepare you for is this is a beautiful project. This would not be something I would just say, do quick in Design Space and cut it out and be done. It can't be like that. So what you're going to do is we're going to take it slow. We're going to give ourselves grace, and we're going to push ourselves. If you're scared to cut wood with your Cricut, that's what you need to push yourself today to do. If you're scared to iron on wood, I want to push you to do that. Maybe it's all of the above. If that's what's going to push you, that's what we want to see you do today. All right, my friends? I'm so excited. But before we jump in, Lauren, let's jump on over to Cricut Design Space and take a look. This is not near as overwhelming as you may think. So that's why I feel like once we bust through Design Space, you are going to love this project. Here's our finish. I love starting with the end in mind. So this is our finish, okay? This is what we're gonna look at the end of the day. By the end of this right here, here's what Design Space should look like. 3 simple layers, 1 circle. Really, the circle doesn't even get cut out. It represents the wood. So boom. Does this look not even easier now? If anyone was stressed about this project, I want you to see that here it is. 2 layers, a blue layer, that's gonna be the wood, and then we have our iron on. You can do it, all right? Ty says, so I just thought I had everything, I need the veneer. Ty, amazing supply to dive into if you haven't already. And this is fantastic. So
now there have been friends asking if there are other woods that the Cricut can cut.
There are.
And there are. But like we were saying in the first of the show, it takes the Cricut quite a while to cut those thicker woods. And there are times where you don't get as nice of a cut. It just doesn't have the pressure to be able to really cut those thick, sturdy woods. So that's why we are using the veneer today.
Love the veneer.
And that's something, there was also a friend say something about like craft foam. If you don't have the veneer and you want to try it out with craft foam,
that would be great.
That would be.
Try any material with the deep cut blade.
Yeah.
So if you all were not aware, Makers Gonna Learn offers amazing fonts, okay? Amazing, amazing fonts. So today we're using one of our company favorites. This was probably, I mean, we search it all the time.
Quiz time.
Quiz time.
What is it?
It's Click Clack.
Okay.
Okay. I was like, oh my gosh. It is Click Clack. We love it. And it's so good. So yay, this is awesome. And then here's Click Clack. So when you're a member, you get unlimited downloads of all of our fonts. And we're just going to download Click Clack real quick. While that downloads, you can scroll through the view all, and it is so, so good. Jean says, membership's awesome. First signed up last year, did not hesitate to renew. Worth every penny. You're amazing. You are so, so awesome. But yeah, we have really unique fonts. Albuquerque is one of my favorites. Airstream is a hidden gem.
I have been using Airstream a lot.
It's a hidden gem.
But Airstream and Saturday Night right now are my go-tos. I feel like it's kind of like with my retro.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm in a retro mood.
I know. I mean, I'm all for it. We're here for it. We're here for the hair. We're here for the outfits.
I'm going to blame it on Alicia.
Yeah. We can blame everything on Alicia. But yes, Arrow Words. This one's one of my favorites for a lot of your designs. It comes with the little training so you know how to use it, but you can use Arrow Words and then bring the arrow together. It's a very cool design. One thing I do want to share with you guys today is my favorite font. Someone was shocked I wasn't using Barefoot Joanna yesterday. So I do have to give Barefoot Joanna some airtime. Barefoot Joanna is one of my favorite fonts. You all know it's amazing. And let me share with you a new feature of the website. So you can actually, if you're a member, test fonts. So you could search, you could put Makers Gonna Learn. So whatever your text is, you can test out that font in our area so you know what is needed. Does that make sense? Like you can make sure you like it. Like I could search, I could type in Tanner Bell, I could type in Courtney, anything like that. And you could just test it. So that's one thing our team is super proud of and excited. And it is so fun. So you can click on the font after it's downloaded. We're just gonna double click and then boom, it's right here. You're gonna click on Click Clack, boom, boom. It's gonna let you know, hey, Click Clack is here, but Click Clack is not going to be able to be installed. So you're gonna click install and bada bing, bada boom. If this ever pops up for you, you click it and you're like, install that checked font. I need it. Look at all these fonts. Oh my word. Oh Malanta. Oh
Okay.
Malanta. So our font's downloaded and I wanna share with you this hack that Lauren shared with me many weeks ago, and I'm still talking about it. So here it is. Are you ready for this? Lauren's like, I've been ready for this. I taught you it.
There was a couple lives where you were like, you still have, I think you were like live at home and I was somewhere else watching. Yes. And I was like trying to comment on my personal YouTube account and I don't, anyway. I was like, no, you can do it.
It's awesome. But it is so good. So we can go ahead and click, I believe it's just view, and we're gonna click reload. So save your project if you need to save it and then just reload it. But we're gonna click reload right here. Bada bing, bada boom. Yolanda agrees with me. The Barefoot Joanna font is amazing. I love it. I'm so glad you're using it, my friend. Yay! Okay, so we've been able to download that. And then what we're gonna do real quick is just separate these out. And I'm gonna share with you kind of what we're gonna do. So we're gonna cancel this and we're gonna go to the text box. We're gonna grab under system. We're gonna search click and clack. Beautiful. We're going to search hello, or we're gonna type hello, period. Okay, that is going to go right about here. Is that not awesome, my friends? So good. Love it. Learn something new. Okay, Lauren, we can go away. We can go home.
I know, I've had so many friends say that they've learned something new.
I'm so happy.
I know.
That's awesome. We can go eat tacos, get a coffee. I mean, we're done.
You know tacos are my favorite.
Yes. But yes, we're going to slice this real quick. So I'm just going to zoom in. Did you notice what I did? So if you've never grabbed a hexagon, all you would do is go to shapes, and under this free area, you can grab your hexagon and just like so, scale it up. This replay is available to you, and it'll be awesome. So you can shift it.
We also have, while you're doing that, we will show you where to get the...
oh, this is not the hexagon. This is
the octagon.
Lord.
We will show you where to get the flower file here.
Yes, we're getting to the flower file.
We're getting there. And then there was something else.
Dun, dun,
oh, Linda,
dun, dun.
and I know this is for everyone.
Dun, dun, dun.
We are getting that link added for the veneer.
Yes, we will
It was
add
not
that, my
on there.
friend.
Courtney got it.
believe-
And I think she's sending it to Angela.
If you all are curious, let's see if it's under the supplies for day 2. So we have this boot camp area, and if it's on here, look at me, I'm so excited, huh? I'm wondering, so we're gonna add that right here, because we need to get that wood veneer. But this
We
is
got
where
it
we'll
from
add
Amazon.
Yeah, we love that. So anyway, we'll get that. Great questions. But anyway, back over here, you have your hexagon now, okay? You can change that color just for visualization purposes. And then we grab Click Clack and we have it right here. So that's really easy. I'm gonna delete this one now. And what you're gonna do, y'all, just like yesterday, we're gonna select both of those and we're going to click slice. You guys know it's a cookie cutter. Beautiful. And delete those out. Boom. Bye. This layer right here is going to be the hello. This right here is the hello. It's going to be cut on our wood. That is going to be awesome. All right. Now, in addition, what we need to do is just grab this cut file. And what you can do when you're a member of Makers Gonna Learn, you can go to cut files. Welcome, Julia. I made it for the live show. You can go to cut files and you can just search flower. So this is the file that will be added to the site. And what Lauren was speaking of is when we have something, so we can go overhead. I want to show you what we like to do. So if you're brand new here, I want to make sure that you all are aware of this hack, because this hack will be probably the best hack I got. So this is a 12-inch wooden round, okay? A 12-inch wooden round. And just like this right here, you can take this circle and bring it into Design Space. All right, are you ready? So hop back over to Design Space. We just took a basic shape. We made it the same size as our wooden circle, and we made it tan. So that way we're able to show exactly what it's gonna look like. So then you can add your cut file over here. You can even, for visualization, this is a little hack, you can hold both of these cut files down, select it, and then click Arrange, or excuse me, Align. Look at this. You can click Align Center, and look, boom. It just centers it up just like that. And then you get to bring this one in and size it. So you know exactly how everything is going to come together in real time, okay? In real time. That is one thing I absolutely love, love, love about this feature, is it comes together in real time, okay? There's gonna be no surprises now that we sized it appropriately. We have double checked everything. We have 2 layers. That's it. Y'all, when we cut this right here, we are going to cut our blue layer on veneer, and we are going to cut the flowers on HTV. Just because we had our circle here, that was for visualization purpose only. We're gonna X that out. We're done with that, okay? This is it. So I don't want you all to be scared. This is not a project that you're gonna be scared of. Now that we are done with this part right here, we are ready to jump right in to get cutting. That is simple. So we already have this sized all ready to go right here. I'm going to hide that one, and then boom. We're going to click Make It, and we're going to click on the mat and press Continue. And because we're using heat transfer vinyl today, we're going to mirror it. So it just flips that. And then for mat 2, this is perfect. All right, this is good to go. I can move it down and over if I want, and then I can press Continue. I'm connecting to my machine via USB today. and that is awesome. And for the veneer, we are going to go to click Browse All Material. And when you click Browse All Material, we are going to search just for veneer, if I could spell veneer correctly. There we go. We have natural wood veneer. I'm going to select that and press done. Lauren, did we have an announcement?
No, it was just somebody asked, deep cut blade is for wood only. No, I think you can use deep cut blade for so many different things.
So many different things. We can go overhead now. You just want to make sure your mat is pretty sticky. This one looks like it has quite a bit of love on it. I'm going to see which one. I have a light grip. We don't love to recommend light grip. I'm going to grab a strong grip mat. So Lauren, if you just want to, we can go straight to Lauren.
And I know you all were talking about that flowers cut file. I have messaged Courtney. She should be getting that linked for us so that we can definitely get that to you guys so you know exactly where to find it. Let's see, does the mat matter? Yes, for this specific project, the mat does matter. When you are using any type of medium with a deep cut blade, my suggestion to you, use a strong grip mat. If you don't have a strong grip mat, get you some painter's tape, some masking tape, and tape that down.
Yeah.
Because it's important that that doesn't move, because that deep cut blade is putting a lot of pressure on that medium that you're using, whether it be wood, craft board, whatever you are using, it's going to put a lot of pressure on that, and there is a chance of it moving back and forth.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much for helping as I ran out to the craft area. Let's talk about veneer real quick. Lauren touched on it. It's so funny you brought it up. I pulled out my painter's tape just in case. Like, I just want to teach you all the best practice possible. The wood veneer is really fun. I love it. I think you're going to enjoy it too. Be impressed how fast it cuts and whatnot. But anyway, we're going to put this on the strong grip mat, and this is a time where I like to pull out this bad boy.
Oh, yes.
Just make sure that it's adhered down. Like, you're just going to make sure this is adhered down well, everything like that. No biggie. You know, it's perfect. So that's down. For extra support, you can go ahead and add, like, I don't know, Lauren. I mean, this is kind of like, if you want to dot your T's and cross your I's, this is what you do. Like, a lot of us here, we don't want to do that all the time.
Right.
But, you know, we have quite a few people watching today.
If you are using thicker wood, it is an absolute must.
This is not a how to use the knife blade video.
Right.
We do have that available. This is how to cut veneer on an Explorer or Maker.
And
and we love that.
We have had friends wanting us to explain the difference between that knife blade and the deep cut blade.
All right. So this is going to be Tanner's differing opinion of a knife blade versus deep cut blade. So why we're using veneer today and why you don't see us use the knife blade all the time is A, it's really expensive, and B, it does not always hold up to the quality standard we expect from the Cricut when it comes to cutting. All right? That's why we do not use it constantly. What I love using that knife blade for, my friends, if you have a Cricut Maker or Cricut Maker 3, the heavy chipboard from Cricut is the absolute best material they have been able to develop to cut on a Maker machine. That stuff is thick. Lauren, have you ever worked with it? It's thick, thick, thick. You will love it. So that's kind of the differences. There's a lot of passes. There's a lot of things we're leaving out. I have other videos just about the specialty blades. But just so you guys know, today's project's about using veneer for our Explorer friends, for great cuts. I mean, we've been using this veneer a lot lately.
I know, and we did have people ask, can you do this on the Explorer? Yes, that is why we chose this material, is because it can be done on an Explorer. I know I did see someone else ask if this, if the veneer came in a thicker. We're not using a thicker material today. Yes, it is pretty thin. However, it is one that is very easily layered.
Yeah.
And it's something that, let's say you wanted the hello to be a completely different color. Let's say you wanted like a bright yellow, the hello to be yellow. Then you could do layers of this veneer paint one layer yellow, one layer blue, and let that yellow kind of show through instead of it just being all the way through to the back.
Lauren, I am thinking about a dark and light stain, like to complement the dark and light stain with what you're talking about. Like that was my envision now that I was thinking about that.
We could do that on this live because being 100% transparent with you guys, the hello that we have, the blue part that we have right now, was actually cut with our Glowforge, but we wanted to show you a different version of how you can do this and how it's possibly done with an Explorer.
Love it. Well, okay, so we're going to open the fine point area just for the B blade housing. We're going to take that and we're going to insert the deep cut blade, and then as we close it, that's all you have to do. So you went from the fine point blade that comes with your machine to the deep cut blade, and that's super easy. So there you have it, really simple. And we're gonna just press the flashing play button now because we already set this right here. And it is so, so fun. So there you have it. It is going to just start cutting away. Look at that. You're gonna be really impressed with this. It's gonna do 3 passes, it's letting us know. So just be prepared for that. But that was a short praise and prayer because look at this.
It's already done.
It's already cut through. Y'all, is that not crazy? So look, you can kind of see it when you pop it out. I wonder if I should put it through another pass. I want to just see it here. I mean, it's cut through. So one thing I want to show you is, I kind of want to put it through another pass.
I mean, it's not gonna hurt it to put it through another pass.
We'll make sure it doesn't hurt it. So
I also don't think it would hurt to put it on more I mean, not this time, but if on your first cut.
Yeah, I didn't do more pressure. So I'm gonna go back to the veneer. I could make that work, but I really want it to be good. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I can even spell veneer, Lord.
Yes, you can do this. Well, you can do this project on an Explorer 2. That is what we are doing it on ourselves.
On the 3.
Or on a 3, sorry. So the blade is the same.
Yeah, same blade. You could use this blade even in your maker. Yeah. You don't have to have that. Well, that was unexpected. What I'm gonna do is now, you know what, Lauren? This did not even cut through all the way. So I'm flipping it because it already cut on this side. So I'm just flipping it over. So this is an easy way. Definitely use that more pressure, y'all. More pressure is gonna be our secret weapon today, working with the veneer. And again, this is one thing I like about the veneer is it's fast. Like everybody's like, whoa, did not expect that. Exactly, exactly, exactly. So here we go.
One thing I do want to highlight while you're doing that.
Go for it.
Carolyn said with so much sadness and craziness in the world, crafting is, and she just said crafting is, but that's one of our things is
sanity.
Crafting is our sanity. Crafting is our therapy. Crafting is our escape. Crafting is for us, and I think I speak for you all as well.
Yes.
You all are fellow crafters as well. It's one of those things where we can create beauty in a world that is so ugly sometimes and so dark.
And let's get real, y'all are in control of your crafts and we're not in control of this crazy world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aw, watching Tanner makes me want to craft. Yay, that's our goal. That's our secret goal.
Although sometimes we don't have control over our crazy crickets either.
Listen, honey, I second that one. I'm with you. Okay, we're doing more pressure. It didn't ruin the veneer. That's kind of the cool part too. Like it didn't ruin it, even though it didn't cut through all the way. So it's gonna be awesome. I taped the top. Okay, thank you guys for reminding me to tape the top. It was like bouncing off. And the reason why is the veneer is actually pretty thick. So when you let it hang down, it's actually not doing you justice. So like, look, I'm gonna prop that up a little bit. Actually with more like that. Boom, beautiful. So then this area needs to stay down. The veneer is wanting to move. All right, I left it on more pressure. If I cannot see the letters are able to be like really down, I'll probably let it go through another pass. How long ago did you start Maker's Gonna Learn?
That is a really good question.
What a great question. Well, we probably have, you know, last time I checked, we had 550 friends hanging out with us. It did not happen overnight, unfortunately. Lauren, Lauren, I'm gonna get fired. Somebody is gonna fire me.
Why?
I started cutting the second mat. I'm gonna get fired, y'all. This is not my day.
You're done.
I done did it. I'm
We're
done.
finding a new. We are finding a
somebody new. Somebody fresh.
somebody new.
That's so funny. Okay, so I'm gonna move this down, and we're gonna press continue. Anyway, as I correct my mistakes, I mean, listen, yesterday I guess it just went too smooth, because you all thought that I had it all together. No. I've been using a Cricut since 2010. So if I can make a mistake with it, so can you.
Absolutely.
Just to let you guys know. But yay. Okay, I hear it cutting a lot better now. This is like, oh, I can see there is a huge cut difference between more pressure and not like regular pressure.
As I use an Italian hand, the key.
Wait, did you see that TikTok? Did you see that TikTok?
On our Facebook page where she was going around showing her crafter. I loved it.
Okay, I saw one with the same thing, and it was this couple, and they're Italian, and she was like, I'm going to see if my husband can go like a whole day without going like this. Oh yeah, this is cutting through. This is really good. Oh my gosh, this is good. Okay, while that's cutting, I'm gonna prepare my other mat because, y'all, this is gonna be a 2-hour live stream if we're not careful.
I know.
And I feel like it's going to be. So we might have to turn on the air conditioner because I'm all confused
Open the door.
I'm confused what temperature it is. I'm burning up.
If you all saw anything about like our bodies, I mean, the weather that we have here in East Tennessee is absolutely insane.
Unbelievable.
On Friday, we had 65-degree weather where I was riding around with my windows down,
me too.
t-shirt on, like crazy. Woke up on Saturday morning to 4 inches of snow.
Unbelievable. Some of our friends
Not
got
cool.
7 inches in Knoxville. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've now cut the correct mat.
Yes.
It's now letting me unload it. Let me double check that I want to unload it. Now I'm nervous, but I see a lot more sawdust. This looks really good. I'm going to very carefully, because here's the trick. You want to make sure it cut through before really moving it around too much. I want to make sure it cut through. So I'm going to grab this and see how well it cut.
So we did have, while you're doing that, we had some friends ask us where they can find the more pressure setting. So when you go
I'll show that because I'm going to cut it again just because I want it to be flawless and I don't want to have to, it's cut. Like, I'm not saying it's not, but for these letters, like, they need to be able to pop out a little bit better. So we're going to go to VE and find veneer, click on it. And then after you press done on your material, look right here under basic material, you can use default or you can use more. So just select more. And now it's measuring. Love it.
No.
Why does it keep doing that? Just go unload it. We're fine. Now we're getting a flashing red light. So we've taped this down. We cut veneer, and the crazy thing is, Lauren, we were cutting a way more complex thing right before this, and I was watching it, and I was like, wow, this is going to be so good. And then we're over here just on the struggle bus. The Cricut has its own mind.
The good part about it is, for some reason, you all love watching us fail.
Especially at boot camp.
After we talk about how well this thing cut the veneer. And that's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
Lives. And not just lives. This is with
crafting in general.
With anything, whether we're filming an organic video, it always seems to do that. Don't cut that second mat.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to mirror our iron on. We are going to cut this veneer, and we are going to get a new piece of veneer because it's awesome. I do want to see, just to fill some time real quick, what we've got going on here with this. So here is our piece that we've cut, and I want to show you guys, it's cut, but it's not cut all the way through. So we could salvage this because look at this. So like it's cut, you can snap it out, but it's not cut all the way. So if you...
So, and this is, while he's doing that, this is why...
I'll save this so we can talk about it and answer questions.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
But this is why we like the, when you start cutting thicker materials, these are the issues that we have, is we end up having, like, it just takes a long time.
It cuts really good.
Yeah, no,
this is proof.
Show the overhead that it cuts great.
Yeah, this is proof. We love it. We cut it all the time. So this is not us just trying to, we don't probably, I mean, we make very small commission off our affiliate links, but we're not trying to sell veneer because, you know, it's some special promotion for us, honey. You all know we are here to sell you what is best for you. And it's gonna be awesome. So I love that this is just not gone perfect because, hey, we get to hang out more. Okay, I'm bringing my mic really close over here so you can really hear. You can really hear it and like what it's doing. Okay, look at that. We're doing another pass. Oh yeah. Okay, so for Maker and Explorer friends, as we are gearing up on this 4th pass, here's what
popping noises.
I know. Now it's flashing. Now it's gonna be like, oh, you're done. If you need it to go again, press that play button and it'll go again. But here's what you can do. While it's still in here. Oh my gosh, are we on this camera? Yep. For the first time ever, look at this peeling up. It's peeling up. Oh my gosh, we're done. So look, and the reason why I could check it, if this was not coming up, leave it loaded. Leave this loaded, okay? Leave it loaded and just press the play button again. But as I can show you, this is what, Lauren, this is what it should have done from the get-go.
Yeah.
But see, here's what I'm confused. Oh.
Look at that.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
One thing you're going to want to do, though, don't get rid of the middle part of the E and the O.
They're on the mat.
Okay.
They're on the mat right here. This is so good. So what we're going to do, we're going to switch this out. We're going to do everyday iron-on for our heat transfer. We're going to do more pressure. I'm loading in my next mat. This is so fun. What a great, I mean, wow. Today's show.
Lisa, you don't need a mat with a Maker 3 if you're using these smart materials.
Which I have a whole video breaking that down.
That is the key. So yes, you do still need a mat, but unless you're using smart materials.
Which will limit your ability, and we don't want that. Okay, so we can press the flashing play button. It's gonna cut out our next mat. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and start painting this blue. You could leave it as is. You could stain it a different color. I mean, really whatever you wanna do. Today's show has been so long, I would do something different, but we're just gonna say you're painting it up.
Yep.
I'm shaking my paint.
I've said this multiple times, if that veneer is too thin for you,
yeah, cut another one.
Cut another one.
Love it. And you can glue those together with rapid fuse. You could layer them, you know, whatever you want. So, love it. I'm just gonna take some paint right here. Grab my paintbrush. I'm using another wood round to be my painting area today. And then I have my heat tool, and this will be able to draw live because we're about to have to weed this out, Lauren. Who's ready for like live Q&A? I mean, I think we could get through at least half of my life story and probably start on Lauren's.
Yeah.
Because this weeding is going to be fun.
This is going to be weeding not for the faint of heart. Yeah. Especially, some people love weeding, and I can see why. Like, weeding could be therapy in and of itself.
Yeah.
Kind of like how I like to sit. Some people like the adult coloring books. Some people, mine is embroidery. It's like you just sit, it's like a mindless activity.
Yes, 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 yes. I love that. Okay, so look, I'm almost one coat in. I'm gonna heat set this because this is a 2-coater.
We have not had any issues, so Ty asked, will it curl? I feel like if you put like a ton of paint on it, there's a chance.
Notice I'm trying to keep these pretty thin.
We've not had any issues of it curling just yet. No, but we're also going to be adding those blocks
Yeah, we're
to hold
stabilizing
it down so that it does not, it for sure does not curl.
Yeah, yeah. So I love that. You can just hold something here if you need to touch up paint anything. And then once you have that, look at this. So we're gonna grab our heat gun. If you see a lot of curling or anything like that, you can always grab the heat gun too, because the heat gun will kind of help it all stay in place. Fixing some of these brush strokes before I grab the heat gun. Grab the heat gun. The heat gun is not linked. This is just a Chandler tool. There are so many different ones out there. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to have it to do the project. When we do supply list, we literally try to give just like the baseline, but maybe we'll start linking more of our, we'll try maybe to start linking more of these like extra tools, because I know you all want to be like extra crafters, like we are, like above and beyond, like fast. You know, a lot of these things we have here sometimes is to help production, you know, make the video flow better and things like that. But it's awesome. I mean, you guys are fantastic. Okay. Look at this. Second coat. Oh, I love seeing the change of a one coat to a second coat. Like, definitely changes the game.
So the circle that we are using is actually linked in the
Yes.
below. It is, we just bought it off Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love that. I might have applied too much heat, so we'll see if that changes anything, but it's looking really good. While I have that to the side, I'm going to grab my letters and paint those real quick. Love this. Love it. Well, actually, I only need, I said letters. Oh my goodness, I just need inside my O and my
And the E.
E. Love that. Okay. So we're just going to be able to paint this real quick. Look at that. Let us know if you guys have any questions. This is a great time for Q&A because I'm about to start hopefully weeding. We're about to find out. I'm
Or
on the edge
just
of my
laying
seat.
it down.
Yeah, I'm on the edge of my seat how that's going to turn out today, to be honest.
I'm excited too.
What a time to be alive.
Don't make me start singing again. It's already stuck in my head.
Oh gosh, don't do it, Lauren.
TikTok song.
Tic tac paddywhack.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Alrighty. I'll go let those just air dry. Okay, this is the big reveal. Are we doing iron on wood today or are we not? This is about to get real, and the pin tool is going to be right here with me. Oh, you can hear.
Can I come look?
You can come look. Sure.
Okay. I'm real.
I mean, it definitely got through to some of the plastic. I'm just trying to like, you see, like it cut.
I'm just thinking if it got through all the plastic, how you could just peel all of that up, but it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That would be insane.
That would be super
That happened
easy.
to you?
Yes,
That's insane.
That happened to me where it cut through all of the plastic, and I was just able to peel it up, and it was already on the plastic, and I just laid it down. And
I could not imagine. I would freak out. I would
you gotta
literally
learn to
freak out.
roll with the punches.
Yeah, I would freak out. I will say, this is like, oh gosh. This is weird. It's cut differently. And I'll try to show you is what I mean by that. So, HTV usually, where it cut through, it's like cut just enough, a bit of the material. So like, look. So like right here where normally the heat transfer would be stuck down, it's like coming up. Even though it's cut, just not cut the right way. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that today or not, y'all. Like, ooh, no. So like some pieces are great, some pieces are not.
Rebecca asked if it cut through my mat too. No, it didn't cut through my mat. I just forgot to change. I think I used like I was doing a project where I had 2 different types of vinyl, and I think it was, one of them was glitter, so I put it on glitter HTV to begin with, and then put it on more pressure because this glitter vinyl was super thick.
Yeah.
And I just did not go back and change my material, and I left it on more pressure. And so what happened was, it just it didn't cut through my mat. It just cut through all of the plastic and all of the vinyl, and I was layering, so I just laid it down and put a Teflon sheet over it and
That's insane.
went to town.
That's awesome. So I'm just trying to see if I can salvage this, because I have this area that like did not do me a favor, if you know what I'm saying. I would not, like, for anyone watching that's like, oh, maybe the deep cut blade can cut my vinyl better. No. Like I just wish you could see and feel what's happening with this. This is when I wish like we did do in person, because I would like bring this over to your table and be like, hey, see how it's coming up way more than it normally should. That is what's happening here. So I'm not loving this. I'm trying to be mindful, like doing a little pulling action to try to make sure it doesn't try to pull up as much, but it is a little disappointing. Okay.
So Ty said, this just shows you that there is a reason to use the blade that it tells you to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ty, retweet.
Absolutely.
Amen, retweet.
Hashtag retweet.
As I'm peeling up, like I'm literally peeling up things that I would never peel up when cutting normally. So I'm kind of just going with it just to show you all what would happen. But yeah, this is not good. It's not great. Definitely not good. Okay. But what I'm probably going to do, I just want to weed out a little bit more of this, and, you know, just for really you guys to see it. I mean, we're already at 1.5 hours in the show, which is way more than we had ever really scheduled, but this is not really a time thing. It's about the weeding quality. Please use the blade that is designed for your machine. Like, just do that and make sure to follow it. And if you all want specific instructions on being able to do heat transfer vinyl on wood, I have videos both in the membership and on the YouTube channel publicly where you can master that. So that's what I'm probably gonna recommend for you guys to do. And now I want to spend some time talking to you about how you are going to support your hello onto your wood. Because here's the thing, if you're like, Tanner, I've tried ironing on wood and that's just not for me, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to. This is a great alternative. You can just build what we're about to build. So all you're going to do, flip this around back, and we are using these little 0.59 of an inch cubes. We're going to add cubes using our DAP glue, or you could even use your hot glue, and we're just going to apply them onto the veneer, because this is going to create a little backer. And y'all, again, today is a great day to join membership because you're going to get access to every piece of artwork that we've ever featured here on the YouTube channel. Most of our projects are all cut files from Makers Gonna Learn. So if you love what we do here on the YouTube channel, that's just like confirmation you'll love being a member.
Yes, so we have a couple things that I want to address while you're doing that.
I love that.
Violet Flame.
Hey, Violet.
They said the angle of the deep cut, and I did not know this.
There is an angle. That's why some cuts are really good.
The angle of the deep cut blade is 60, whereas the fine point blade is 45 degrees.
Yes, look at this.
Which makes the big difference.
That's why my cuts are not great. And Mimi says, does the membership help with starting a business?
I was going there next.
No way.
I'm glad you could read my
Sadie
mind.
also wanted to go there next. I love that. Thank you, Sadie and Lauren. The business is a great place to learn how to get started. We do come with you to give you that commercial use license. So the year membership is the best one I'd recommend for business owners. We have more in-depth training that's outside of membership if you are business specific. But it's a great place to get started with the Cricut so that you can start selling your projects. So I highly recommend Cricut for business owners. And Lauren, they can make their membership dues back really quickly.
Oh yeah.
They could, within a month of selling and marketing themselves with their Cricut projects, have their membership paid for, and they're going to get a whole year of value. So that's very common of our members. So you can do it too, my friend. I'm so excited for you, Mimi. So grab your membership, $30 off today. Now I'm just adding in like a few extra support pieces. You don't have to add this many, but you can.
And yes, we had a friend say that the cubes are so useful in so many different projects.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't tell you how many projects we have used these little wooden cubes for here recently.
I'm adding more glue to the cubes and I'm about to apply, just to let you know as you talk. Sorry, Lauren.
No,
but yeah, the cubes are, this is kind of like an advanced craft trick with this amazing rapid fuse. You're gonna have great quality. You do only have 30 seconds. I'm not even trying to play with you. This rapid fuse, 30 seconds. So you have to work very fast. It's so fast. It's so good. If you get this on your fingers, honey, it's...
Oh, like I have to take like a file and like try to file it off, or that, or just peel all my skin off with it.
Yep, I understand. So then you're gonna apply this down, and we're just gonna apply it. And you're like, but Tanner, what about the inner pieces? We've got you. Stick with me. We're about to do that here in a moment. You do have a little bit of working time, so you can move it around for a second. But that looks good. Now we're gonna let that set. While we let that set, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our inner pieces. And our hack today is we're using these little bitty, we just took a little piece right here and kind of measured. And hot glue is gonna allow us to really build something amazing. So what I mean is we're going to take our little piece right here. I'm gonna grab a reverse tweezer. I mean, this is when I'm like, Lauren, I could use a fourth hand, a fifth hand. I mean, any type. We're gonna grab that. We're gonna apply a piece. Look, I added a little hand, a little hand. So we're gonna add a little hot glue. This is like my favorite little hack with hot glue. It's just pull it. We're gonna let the glue set with this piece, okay? So
the cubes, we have had friends ask us if we got ours from Dollar Tree. No, not specifically. We got ours from Amazon, but they do have them at Dollar Tree, and you can get them at Dollar Tree.
That's awesome. That's putting my E on incorrectly.
The blade that we use to cut the wood veneer is the deep cut blade. The blade that we were supposed to use
is the fine point.
For the vinyl is the fine point.
Yeah. Oh, look at the E! Oh my gosh, that's looking so good. And then you can like push this piece up. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. My glue over here on this piece started not setting fast enough, so I'm just gonna add some more and apply pressure. Okay. And then we're gonna repeat that same process for our O. So the reverse tweezer here is awesome. If you're a paper crafter, so it's reversed. So when you release it, it holds it, and then when you press it, it releases. So it's a little backwards.
I won't even say paper crafter. I'm just gonna say crafter in general. Those reverse tweezers are
true.
Game changers.
That's true. I don't want to limit just paper because this is more multi-purpose, you know what I mean? And look, just 2 little dots. I mean, this really, the precision tip hot glue gun is awesome. Like, I love using my Lynn Lilly hot glue gun, but I have recently been on a kick of like, Surebonder needs to let us come out with a hot glue gun too, because I know my Makers Gonna Learn family wants to have a hot glue gun.
Yeah, we do.
For Makers Gonna Learn, so we're gonna have to work on that.
If you want a Makers Gonna Learn hot glue gun, drop us an emoji.
Yeah, drop us an emoji if you would love to have a Makers Gonna Learn hot glue gun, because we love our Lynn Lilly and we love supporting Lynn.
Yes.
But like we want
a hot glue gun too. I mean, of course.
Oh, and here you go. Oh my goodness. Imagine what it would look like if dun, 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 you were able to actually use the right blade.
Did that?
What?
Okay, I see it now.
Beautiful.
It was kind of like from over
the
here.
Little E.
The O.
The O. Oh my.
Just kind of ran into it over where I'm sitting at the angle.
Yeah, I saw what you're saying. Yeah. No, that's easy. But yes, so look at these. I mean, they're both beautiful. This is still a winner.
Oh yeah.
This is still a winner. This is a winner. This is a winner. Whichever one you guys want to make, you all are going to rock it. Lauren, I cannot believe it's already 3 o'clock.
I know. I know.
But this is such an amazing project, and I've had so much fun making it with you guys. Oh my goodness.
And for our friends that do not realize.
So this is what we're making today. The first day is all about using just a basic adhesive vinyl. So if you're struggling understanding adhesive vinyl, that's our goal today, is to empower you to use it. This right here is going to be a great mix of basic Cricut skills with true crafty skills that everyone already has. There's nothing complicated about today's project. We're using a wooden round that you can find at your local home improvement store. These are so popular, Lauren, and this is something you can use in your home year round.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, I love these. It is super special to me, and we're so excited. But let's go over supplies, because there's not many supplies needed for today's project. Let me just grab it all right here. So aside from your adhesive vinyl, we're just using StarCraft Black permanent adhesive vinyl today. We always buy these bulk rolls because I believe in bulk buying your basic colors. So that is so, so good. Oh, thanks guys for giving Lauren all the love. I'm so sorry you couldn't hear her earlier. That's so funny.
I didn't realize we hardly ever mute the mic, so
yeah, we were filming.
that was my fault.
It's okay. And then next up, you'll need transfer tape. So you always, with adhesive vinyl, have to have the transfer tape to work with you, okay, my friends? So these two work together, and I'll teach you exactly what you need to know about both of these momentarily. So next up, you're going to need your wood round. Now my wood round is purchased from my local home improvement store. Check out Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever you prefer. Check that out, and it is so much fun. I always stain with my gloves, and then I use cut up old t-shirts or any type of cotton to stain with, and I'll show you exactly why we love that. And then next up, we're using white chalk paint, which is awesome, and you'll need a paintbrush. So pretty basic items. You'll also need painter's tape to do the technique we're going to work with today, and we have everything prepped to make sure that you have everything you need to know and be able to master it, because it's awesome. Now, kind of give everyone a great breakdown. Before we jump in to the Cricut part, I think we should go ahead and just get everyone super familiar with staining and painting, because I feel like that could be also a hindrance for some people to move forward.
Right.
So that's what we're going to do first today. So if you're tuning in just for the Cricut training, sit tight. We are about to jump in to Cricut Design Space. But before we do that, I want to help equip you all with knowing exactly how to stain and paint this, because these wood rounds would be fantastic items to give as gifts, make for yourself, sell. I mean, this is something I would sell for $35, $40 easily.
Oh, absolutely.
And here's the deal. The wood rounds, I think, $10 to $11. The vinyl on here is very minimal. The paint and stains very minimal. So this is something that could really be an awesome product for you to give, sell, and things like that. So do you need Design Space even if you're a member? So Anne, if you're brand new to Cricut, Design Space is actually completely free. So when you buy a machine, you're getting access to Design Space. You do not have to have Cricut access to use Design Space. So what you do is you take files and artwork from our website and you upload them and import them into Design Space. I'll share exactly how to do that today, my friends, so stay tuned. So step one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up our stain.
While you're doing that,
so I'm putting on my vinyl gloves. I love to stain with these gloves because it lets me just do a better, it honestly just helps me do a better job staining because I'm not trying to be super particular. So if you're an existing member to Makers Gonna Learn, this is gonna be an easy project for you because the Design Space elements are so great and easy. We're using one of our fonts and we're gonna love it. But
and we're going to go overhead to watch you with the technique.
Let's go overhead.
But somebody asked about Do you have to stain if it's inside? That is going to be like the stain that we're using. It's really going to be a design aspect. If you want to keep it the natural wood color,
totally
keep it the natural wood color.
The black vinyl would look fantastic.
Oh,
on
absolutely.
There. So either way you want, we're staining just like Lauren said for the look, and we're using Minwax Early American, and we always recommend to stain in a very well ventilated area. I'm just taking some of my stain, dabbing it on my
So we're just using just a regular t-shirt cloth. Cut up a t-shirt.
Love it. So we're going to stain with the wood grain today. So we're going up and down with the wood grain. There's a lot of technique today that's revolving around the wood grain. So just remember that as you make yours. Notice how when I'm staining, I'm able to really work in the wood because I have the gloves on. So I'm just working this in. And the Early American is honestly like such a new favorite for our family.
Yeah.
And at work, like everyone's loving it. So I take it and then we have to just work it in. So this is all we do. It's very easy.
And it's really one of those things, if you want, when you are staining, if you like the color and the tones of the color, but you want it to be a little lighter, you can always go through with a wet cloth and kind of brush and take some of it off. So that's really, when it comes to staining, there are so many different techniques you can use.
Now let's talk about why I like to stain versus paint, because I used to not like to stain. And the main reason I love staining is to keep the wood grain. I want to keep this wood grain, you know, apparent. So when you stain, you know, you don't lose your wood grain. You actually kind of highlight it in a whole new way, which is fantastic. So we love that. We love it. So I just did one very moderate coat. I'm taking the other piece of mine and just kind of working it out, making sure it's all even. So like this, like see me working it in.
As far as how many coats of stain you want to use, that is going to be a design, something that you can decide. If you want a darker wood, you can go back once it's cured, like once it has dried, and do another coat, and that will make it darker. But that really is whatever, that's your personal preference.
Okay, so now that we have stained, I'm just gonna take my gloves off. And I wanna make sure that you all know, if you're doing this at home, make sure to finish off these edges, okay?
Yes.
We're doing this TV ready, which means, look at this. So here's our one that we just stained, and then boom, look, this one's stained with a little bit darker color, no worries. So this is what our team prepared.
But that's, if you hold them back up and for the overhead to see, I think, did Caitlin do 1 or 2 different coats on that other one, or is it just a different stain?
It could be a different stain. I'm honestly not sure. I don't want to tell either way. This it doesn't look dark enough to be Jacobine.
No.
So it could have been 2 coats of Early American.
Yes.
I believe this right here, our finished project today, was not, it was maybe looks a little bit more red, but it could be Early American after it dries. Nonetheless, they're amazing.
But always, one other thing, when you are staining, go with the wood grain.
Yes, always go with the wood grain.
Go with the wood grain.
Love that. So, now that we've got our stain here, do we have other questions? We have
a lot of questions asking how long do we need to let it dry. There should be, we let it.
I would give it a few hours.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go into painting and into vinyling when it's not completely dry.
Okay, here's another really good question. How do you treat the end grains because they absorb so much more stain?
We embrace it. Like, I love the look. I'll pull up this one that we just stained because it's easier to show.
But the edges, where they're cut, they absorb the stain a lot easier.
Yes.
So that might be something, if you see that it is a lot darker, just take a wet rag and wipe around those edges.
Yeah, that's a great tip too.
Yeah.
So we love it. So we love it, love it, love it.
Somebody asked, do you use HTV, permanent or removable, for a project like this?
Today we are focusing all back to our adhesive vinyl. So we're using adhesive vinyl today. I love adhesive vinyl, and it goes great on wood rounds. Adhesive vinyl is cheaper than heat transfer vinyl, and since this is a beginner-friendly week, we are going to break everything down really well. That's why we're going a little bit slower, because I want you to actually make this week. I want you, who is watching right now, to make this with me. Whether you're a member, not a member, I want you to have a success. I want you to have something that you're going to want to keep in your home for years to come. So we're just using adhesive vinyl today because I know you can make that a lot easier than having to have a heat press, having to worry about how to do iron-on. You could do iron-on on this. I'm not saying you couldn't, but if we're talking about the fastest, easiest approach, adhesive vinyl today.
Right.
So yay, I love it.
And we've had a lot of people saying about if they are using this outside, making it weatherproof, and can you put varnish over top of this?
You can seal it.
Yes,
so
you can seal
totally
this.
seal this. We have so much videos, so many video content or videos on sealing vinyl. I just want to encourage you to do some video research on our channel to learn about sealing vinyl as I cut open this lid. So, ta-da! Okay, today I'm so excited to share with you because I hope someone here today is brand new to chalk paint. Now, Lauren, let me share with you all for a minute my love for chalk paint. Have you ever used chalk paint, Lauren?
Yes, and I
love it. It's so special to me. It's an absolute favorite, and I'm super, super excited. I should have left my gloves on for this part of the project. Anyway, chalk paint is so good. We can go to the overhead camera if you want. So this chalk paint, you can see it's very chalky, like you can see it's poured out and things like that. This paint is very thick, and it's going to allow you to do this in very small coats. Like you do not need multiple coats of this at all. You'll be able to do this with like 1 to 2 coats easy. So today what we're going to do is create, again, going with the wood grain. So we're going with it. We're not going against. We want to go with the wood grain. We are going to take our painter's tape, okay? We're going to take our painter's tape and we are going to create, let me just bring in the finished visual so you guys can kind of see what we're going to do. We're creating about a 2 3/4 inch little stripe. And it's a little accent. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply down our first piece of painter's tape. Now, Lauren, I don't know the best way to explain that trying to make a wood round straight can be difficult.
Yes.
So I just want to encourage you to try to like this. There's a line right here in my wood that I'm just gonna kind of, I'm gonna kind of embrace. Like,
so the actual finished product that he showed you first, one of our, Caitlin, who was, you know, sort of new. She's actually, she shouldn't be. She's not super new at this point. But she was the one that painted that. And one of the things she learned and realized, and that we are wanting to make sure you all know, is she went against the wood grain, or the wood grain was up and down. And that was one of the things she wanted us to make sure to tell you all. It's so much easier to turn the wood grain horizontal and then just line your tape up with that wood grain. You can see, and it makes it so much easier to get it straight.
So I also want to let you know, with my specific wood round that we have linked, there's literally lines here. I don't know if you all can tell on camera, but I'm just using and embracing those lines because, Lauren,
it makes it so much easier.
This took away a lot of my, like, this was the scariest part for me. And to see this line right here that I can say,
it's like, oh, okay.
Like, okay, I got this. Like, I can do this. And then look at that. So I'm making sure to evenly, you know, space this out. Again, we're going to embrace these edges.
Right.
So I'm making sure that this edge right here is more important because this is where my paint is. Let any of those bubbles be created over here because we're not painting over here. We're only painting. Look at that perfect line.
Yes, and we've also had a couple friends on here that have asked about specific cut files that they are wanting to see.
Oh, yeah.
You can always drop, if you are a member of Makers Gonna Learn already, we have a Facebook. If you are in our Facebook
on the group, there is a thread where we need to know.
Yeah, we want to know what you want to see.
Yes, please. When you join the membership, you get to say, hey, Tanner, hey, Courtney, we need more dog files. We need red bird files, anything like that. We take those and we give that direct to our design team, and they start developing amazing cut files. And you can read some of our, you know, members. They love getting to help contribute. So that is so fun. So we're going to take our chalk paint. It's a lot thicker. So what I'm going to do real quick is try to lessen out my paint. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper. If you're thinking today, wow, like this is a lot of steps, I just want you all to be the best equipped crafter you can be. So don't feel like you have to memorize all this. This is available to you as a recording. And notice how I'm going right here. Yes, so I want to just go this way with the wood grain, and I'm trying to start by working with my, working around here. So I'm working kind of like
with your edge.
Yeah, with my edge, and then we'll fill in. That's kind of like one of the things we love to recommend after we have made probably 3 or 4 of these throughout our testing. So we're just working with our edge right here. So look at this. So I'm painting my edges right now. So as you can see, painted the edge, and then we've got the first coat. This is a 2-coater, I can already tell, but the chalk paint will dry matte. So what happens here, leave this just like this, let that dry, do a second coat, and then you'll have it ready to go. So all you need to do is let this dry. I wouldn't let it dry too long. If you're working fast, you can do a heat gun, hair dryer.
Really and truly, chalk paint dries fairly fast anyway.
I would say 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
You can be ready to put that second coat on. So don't feel like this is like an overnight thing. No. Use your hair dryer, anything like that. Chalk paint is so friendly. And then look what happens. So you take that, you sit it to the side. When you come back, bam, this is what you have. Look at this right here, my friends. It is so good, so easy, and so awesome. I want to point out the chalk paint like makes it look just unbelievable.
Right.
Just unbelievable.
Yes.
So yes, if you have a wood round, please make this project. Like I said, we love to see what you guys do when you are part of the membership and taking full advantage. So now we've created our wood round. That was what, 2-3 steps?
Yeah.
3 steps: stain, tape, paint, boom.
And this is something
hard.
like once you stain and you need to wait and let it dry, go on over to Design Space, get your stuff set up, get it cut.
Exactly.
And it seems like the drying time is what takes the longest.
And like Lauren says, I love that tip. While it's drying, while things are being drying, the stain, the paint, anything like that, guys, you can do the part that we're about to jump into. We're here live with you, and we only have a limited time each day to do the training, so it feels overwhelming. So calm down and say, hey, while this is drying, I'm gonna work in Design Space, because there's a few more steps to do. But what I love is today's font we're working with is super simple, super easy to use, and I'm so excited to share with you exactly how to use it. And do you take the tape off when wet? We have tried both ways. It depends your personal preference. I want to say if you're a really excellent even distributor when it comes to painting, I would say you can remove the tape while wet. But if you're like, hey, I'm a mess, just wait till it dries.
Yeah.
And especially with chalk paint, it's one of those paints that with the wood and the steps we've took, if you noticed, I really made sure to go with the grain. Of this one is going with the grain. And the second thing you need to know about is making sure to take your fingernail and kind of taking that tape and like edging it, so make sure it's actually laying flat. Those are just some simple tips to get you better results every single time. This is our font we're working with today. How do you pronounce this, Lauren? Amore?
Amore?
Amore. I love it. It's a beautiful, very elegant font that I think any wood round will do so good at. So this is part of our script category of our fonts. This is how easy it is to download and install a font onto your very own computer. What you're going to do is you're going to click the download button. This is our little cloud. Click your cloud button. Next, you will have a zip file. You are going to let that zip file be unzipped. So how we do that is we double click the file, okay? Once you have double clicked, you will see the file right here. It's right here, and you can double click once again, okay? Once it's double clicked, you can see the font. All you need to do is click install font, and boom, it is going to be there. And I obviously had already downloaded this one and installed it. I just wanted to walk you through the steps, and it'll be right here in your font book. Okay, that's how easy it is. If you are installing a font, but you already have Design Space open, you will want to close it out and reopen it, okay? Close it out and reopen it. So once you're ready to go, let me share with you some basic Design Space elements that I want any beginner here to understand. When you are making a project like this, notice I have a circle here that is the size of my actual wood round. This is very, very intentional, my friends. I want to make sure that you understand everything we do here is very intentional to help you get the best and most success. Occasionally, I would even come and take it a step further and create that white stripe.
Yes.
But Lauren, there would have been some slicing.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot of work.
Yeah, adding that white stripe, if you really like being intentional and showing and seeing how it's going to look with the white stripe as far as the size of your font is something that you can do.
Yes.
But
you don't. I believe that you all can rock it, so you can work with it. So I want to just share with you the steps that we take here at Makers Gonna Learn to make our projects the most successful the first time. That's our goal. So first of all, we go to our shapes and we take a circle. This is it. This is easy. You take the circle, you go up here to the size, and you type in 18 inches because we're using that 18-inch wood round. I take it a step further just so that my head can really wrap my head around it. Click on the color, change this to the brown. That way you know a tan color represents my wood round. Step 2, grab a text box. Make sure you select your amor right here, which is love in Italian. Thank you for letting me know. Our love font in Italian. So we'll click that. And we're going to type out our last name. Now we're using Crawford for Caitlin, who is a new craft producer. I cannot wait for you all to meet Caitlin. Guys, we would love any prayers. We have so many new employees starting. We're so excited. We have an office manager, a director of marketing, a craft producer, an email marketing specialist. I mean, we have a lot. It's going to be great. So we would love any prayers. But anyway, this is one of our craft producers. So we're going to use her last name, Crawford. So we just want to spell that out. Now, once we have spelled this out, we're going to make it a little bit larger. So I'm doing for my last name here on an 18-inch round, we're doing this at 13 inches wide. I feel like that's enough space to where it's not too much, that it's overwhelming the wood round, but it's just enough to make it really elegant, okay? Next step, we need to grab another text box. So we're still selecting our same font, and we're going to type out EST, which stands for established. You could put a dot if you want, but here's the secret. I don't want you to worry about weeding the dot. You'll lose the dot. We just eliminated the dot. Don't tell anybody, okay? Don't kill me. Now we're going to type out, after space, 2022. So Caitlin's actually getting married next year, which is super exciting. So we're just, making something for her family now. And we're positioning this right down here. And it's that simple. But here's where a lot of us get hung up. There are things that we need to know in Design Space that is not always super clear. So if you're watching today and you're saying, Tanner, this looks super easy, I don't need help, I want to let you know if you cut this as is, it's not going to look right. For example, let's go ahead and delete this one out. So let's not even take a look at this one. That's done. If I press cut right now, look what's going to happen. I'm going to click make it. I'm going to hide out our circle because remember that was just, there for fun. If I click make it right now, look what's going to happen. I'm going to click on the mat. Lauren, what is happening here? My established is not where I put it.
Right. So what you have to do there is
we have additional steps. And if we zoom in, I want to check something real quick too with our font. because Cricut Design Space changes it around.
Right.
Occasionally, some of our fonts, it would still be a different letters.
Right, and it won't connect.
Exactly. So for this one, it looks like it can be all one, but sometimes your fonts will show that there's still different letters. What we're going to do, this next step I'm going to share with you, is actually go fix all of that. So this is just kind of the blanket statement for anything that you're working with. Now, sometimes you're going to have a font that, let me pull out another one of our Makers Gonna Learn fonts, because I really want you all to hit this home today to make sure you all know that there's additional steps and things you need to master with Cricut Design Space. So let's talk about hello. Let's see if this font has it. So as you see here, this right here, if you were to just spell this out and you see these letters not connected like it is in Crawford, Lauren, do you know what that tells me? You're a beginner.
Yep.
We need to help you elevate your projects really easily. So what you're going to do, you need to go to letter space and just bring it in. So we're just going to letter space and we're bringing that in. It's that simple. And once you bring it in, look at how better this looks.
I know.
Unbelievable.
So much better.
So that's awesome. If your font has that, please use letter space to your advantage. And then after that, you have your established, you have your year. You want to highlight both of those layers. And all you want to do is click weld. So just click weld and look. Now this is all together and we can click make it. And this right here, we're going to use on the mat. And look at that. That is perfect. And I just realized I have a 12 by 12 mat. So actually, we're going to make it a tad bit smaller so that this fits on our mat today. Sorry about that, my friends. I love that font, Lauren. Lauren is amazing. Okay, I have to make it a still tad bit smaller. Sorry about that. 11.6 and still not on the 12 by 12 mat. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. Perfect. There it is.
Go.
Crawford established 2022. Now, who is here never worked with adhesive vinyl? Can we have a little poll? Who is here that has never worked with adhesive vinyl? If you have never worked with adhesive vinyl, drop me an emoji, say me in the comments, because I want to help you understand adhesive vinyl today. So adhesive vinyl is what has this backer. So the backer is kind of like the squared inches. And we're using StarCraft today. You can use Cricut vinyl, you can use StarCraft vinyl, or Cal 651, whichever you prefer.
Right.
No preference here, really. But what I'm going to share with you is that if we want to go to the overhead, we can. This right here is going to be kind of like a sticker. So our setting has to be thick enough to cut through our actual vinyl, but thin enough to where it doesn't take off our backer today. I'm getting a lot of me's.
Yeah, I know.
So there's a lot of friends here that's like, I need help, Tanner. So I'm so glad that you are showing up for yourself today.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
really,
so
honestly,
great.
it's kind of surprising
This
me
is
how
amazing.
these people haven't used, or saying that they haven't used vinyl.
I love it. Well, guys, please throw up all your vinyl questions because we want to answer that today. But this is what adhesive vinyl is. Adhesive vinyl is great for stencils. Adhesive vinyl.
This, what we're using today, is permanent, by the way.
Yes,
there is
yes,
permanent
yes.
and removable. But this is what we're using, the permanent.
Exactly. And why we're using the permanent is because this is something that I want to permanently be in your home today. And what I mean by that is this is something I truly believe, if you have never worked with vinyl, if you follow this video tutorial, you are going to rock it. And what I mean by that, and what that looks like, is you having an amazing project that you're going to have in your home for a very long time. If you're struggling to weed your project, stay tuned because we will be working together weeding this project. And we're using an 18-inch wood round today. So look at this. So I've taken my mat. I have a bulk roll of vinyl, Lauren. As you get familiar with working with vinyl, you are going to be able to do what I'm about to do. If you're a beginner, be careful, but I still want you to get to this level. This is where we put our vinyl down, we're gonna take our True Control knife and we're just cutting this off. I had the right pressure from years of experience. I could have easily pushed too hard and snapped my mat.
Yeah.
Please don't do that. Look at this.
Now,
Peel this off.
if you are worried about not knowing how to use vinyl and you don't want to spend a lot of money, go to dollar store.
Watch my video.
Watch the dollar store video. We tested the dollar store vinyl. It is a great vinyl to really learn how to work with and use vinyl.
And if you're struggling with the settings on there, watch my training. I teach you exactly what it looks like to struggle with it myself. So once your vinyl is on your mat, I'm using a standard grip mat today. It's been worn in. You could do a light grip mat, everything like that. Next step, we're loading this into our machine. So we're just gonna go over here and load this into our machine, just like so. But now what we need to do is we need to hop over to Cricut Design Space. Now, before we do that, I want to take a look right here and you all to see what blade we're using. If you have a Cricut Joy, if you have a Cricut Maker, if you have a Cricut Explorer, whichever, you are gonna have this fine point blade. You will be able to master your adhesive vinyl with the fine point blade, okay? I love it. I love it, I love it. So if you have this blade, which I know you do, you can do this project. Do not feel like it's confusing. This just goes into clamp B. We're closing it. I'm using an Explorer 3 today, but you can use either machine to master Cricut. Like you can use the fine point blade and rock it in any machine. Our membership, to get our thorough in-depth training, you can get and use our membership for any machine. So I just wanted to make sure we hit that home. Now let's head over to Design Space, because here's our final few steps. We're gonna click continue. We do not have to mirror this. We're gonna cut right as it is.
Yep.
We're gonna click continue. Yes, Melissa, you can do this on air too.
We are using StarCraft vinyl for those that were asking. And there was someone else asking something. Oh, what's the difference between weld and attach? Which is a very good question for a beginner.
One.
So when you weld, you are permanently attaching that together.
Exactly.
You really can't unattach it. When you just hit attach, it's kind of like it is making it together, but you can unattach it and move it around later.
Yes.
Like if you're making multiple of these and you want to maybe use the same last name but a different established date, or use the same established date and a different last name, I would use attach. That way, once you've made your first one, you can go back and then you can change the name or change the established date. So that's the difference. What are some good transfer tapes? I have one that does nothing. So today we are going to be using the Cricut transfer tape because it is completely clear. That way we can see exactly where it is going to be going on there. We also really love the masking. The masking transfer tape is one of our favorites. So yeah, and yes, Dollar Tree has craft supplies. We have a really cool video that you all can check out with our Dollar Tree craft supply stuff. So yeah, we did make it smaller than the 13 inches we originally started out with, just so we know that it's going to fit on our mat.
Y'all, can we just give Lauren like the biggest shout out ever? Because Lauren just improvised and entertained you all while I figured out why my Cricut that was plugged up to USB was not connected to our computer. So I hope you all enjoyed all of that, because she answered so many questions. I mean, I enjoyed every question she answered, which is phenomenal. So yay, go Lauren!
Another question, will the attach still cut as one word or individual letters? That's really going to be, you really need to get down, especially if you have a smaller font, get in there and make sure that it is. I think with fonts, if you want to weld the one word together, like the name,
weld the script fonts,
and then attach. You could attach the established date and the name.
If you want to change it out before, like if you ever have a need to change it out, go ahead and only attach. What I personally do is I create one that's editable, so I could do Crawford and just, you know, hide it. So I can go back and change it to Bell or change it to McCoy or whatever I need, whatever last name you want in the future. But when you're ready to like cut, that's when you need to go ahead and weld it, because I want to make sure that you're getting the best cut every single time, and that's what weld is for. So we love that. It's welding those multiple letters into one. So let's hop back over to Design Space. Thank you, Lauren, for improvising with me, because that's amazing. Glad we figured it out. I fixed it. Something was unplugged. So we're going to click over here to set the vinyl, and we're just going to search for vinyl. Now, Lauren, look at all these different settings.
So many different settings.
So many. So what I want to do is go down here, and I would think we would want to click Smart Vinyl Permanent, but this is not a Smart Vinyl. Cricut has Smart Vinyl. So we want to come up here, and we're just going to click on Premium Vinyl, and I'm using the Premium Vinyl removable matte setting. It's fine. It is awesome.
It does say removable. We are not using removable, but you still can use that setting.
Yeah.
It does not make that much of a difference.
They just don't have a Premium Vinyl permanent setting that I can see. So our cut will be, whoo, my keyboard's crazy. So we've got that. It is now going to, after we've selected our material, it is measuring it. So it's measuring our mat. So it's double checking Tanner. It's saying, hey, Tanner, does this work? You know, is everything good? So it's double checking. And I just want to let you all know the coupon code does not work for monthly members, only yearly. So if you're having an issue with it for yearly, let me know. Now that it's here, it's saying, hey, Tanner, press go. Here we go. We're gonna press the play button right here, and it's gonna start cutting. And then we're about to jump in to weeding. How many of you struggle with weeding? I'm so excited because, guys, when I first started going really big in Cricut, I kind of struggled with adhesive vinyl myself. But this hack I'm going to share with you is the #1 way to master adhesive vinyl. It will change your life. Like, I just want you to be prepared for a life, like a change. And if you're saying, Tanner, I've never used adhesive vinyl, this is going to change your life and you don't even know it. So just soak it in. What's about to happen in these next few minutes is like the whole like butter of today's project. Like, this is where you can make a project or break a project, okay? So get excited. Anyway, we have cut this out. Get excited. I mean, we're about to learn something super new. So let's head over here and take a look. So Lauren, thank you for pointing that out. I'm so excited to share group attach weld because that's so good. Now I'm cutting off my excess vinyl. So I have some extra here. So I always do that first. Now I want to let you all know, I'm very particular. I'm leaving my vinyl on my mat. And the #1 reason why is it's like a third hand. It keeps everything here for me. It helps me out. I'm going to go ahead and peel off this extra vinyl. So just peeling it off, just like so. I didn't apply a ton of pressure, that's fine. Now, here's the secret sauce. I need you to grab any of one of your gift cards that you've already used, a burnishing tool. Cricut has a burnishing tool that's great. This one's from 143 Vinyl. Grab something like this, okay? This is the life-changing part. You will take this and you will burnish. So we're burnishing our vinyl down to our mat. I like to go this way because when I weed, I wanna have my hand down my wrist and it's not getting on the mat. So this is a great way to not worry about that. I'm burnishing, y'all. Burnish, burnish, burnish. Okay? Step 2, your weeding tool. There's a few weeding tools to choose from. You may see me sometimes using the pin tool. You may see me using a traditional weeding tool. No worries, okay? What you're gonna do, I like to start with the traditional weeding tool for this step. Grab a corner, peel it up, edge it off, and slowly work your way across your vinyl. Do you see that I did not have any struggle whatsoever healing this up.
And this is so important when it comes to these thin fonts, because
Yes.
thin fonts they're the it thing right now.
Oh, yeah.
But they are the worst to try to weed. So weeding on the mat, literal game changer
Lauren, did
with
you
these
see that?
thin fonts. Look at that.
Did you see that? That was so easy. All right? That was so easy. Now, if you have a pin tool, this is the part of the project where the pin tool comes to life. This is where it is so good. So let me just twist this back around here. I like to take it with firm pressure, poke and pull up, and then poke and pull up. Do you see how fast that is?
The pin tool is also a game changer, especially for the small weeding like this.
Oh yeah. But you can also, if you only have this one, look at how easy it is to do this too. Like don't feel like you have to have every tool we do.
No.
We've been doing this for years. You will build your craft supplies up one birthday at a time, one Christmas at a time, one treat yourself Friday afternoon.
Right.
Like, whenever.
Tamara says her favorite weeding tool is a seam ripper. Like,
Ooh.
I could definitely see that being very useful.
Ooh, you're getting crazy.
I mean, if you are a sewer and you have needles, like, if you can hold that needle, like, that can be a weeding tool.
There's so many ways. Now, my friends, we have went ahead and applied we weeded.
Yeah.
Lauren, this is the part that people get scared of.
Is the weeding.
This is where people say, Tanner, I had a craft fail. Like, I don't want you to go through a 30, 45-minute process and not have all the tips and tricks. So remember this. And if you're saying, Tanner, I need more help, be sure to rock our membership for the training that you're going to get that is specific for you. They're all self-paced courses. Mary, I want to encourage you to get the year membership. After that, go shopping at 143 Vinyl, anything like that. Like, you'll love it. Yeah. Next up, we're using regular Cricut transfer tape, and here's why. You may see other videos of people, myself included, using paper transfer tape. What I want you to do is, if you're a beginner, start with this transfer tape. Start with a regular basic transfer tape, because you're not ready for paper transfer tape yet, okay? Right. I love it. I love it. Cheryl, I will send you one of these. Your last name's Crawford. I mean, hey, yeah. I love it. So, all right, what we're going to do next is we're going to cut out our transfer tape to go with our sign today. So I'm just going to cut me some out. Very simple.
So some DJ says what doesn't come off easily. Sometimes the letters are sticking. So if your letters are like not sticking correctly, are you talking about when you're weeding, like the letters are coming up? That's what burnishing does, is it keeps it on there.
Now notice, my friends, my design is still on the mat. All right, my design is still on the mat. I have cut my piece of transfer tape. And now I'm going to do the taco method. This is something I coined a long time ago. This is the taco method, where we take it, we line it up, and we place it down, and we lay it flat.
Taco method is my favorite.
Now we grab our same burnishing tool. This could be a gift card. This could be this could be the Cricut burnishing tool. We burnish to our left, and we burnish to our right. It's that easy, y'all.
Yes. And the Cricut, in all honesty, the Cricut transfer tape is a little stickier than some. And if you are finding you're having trouble with that, I mean, for a beginner, I would start out with
the tape is so sticky.
Yeah, that their stuff is not coming off of it once they transfer it.
Make sure you're not using the strong grip. Make sure it's regular transfer tape. If you're struggling with it, stick it to your shirt 2 or 3 times. Yeah. That's what I would recommend. Shirt 2 or 3 times, that will solve 98% of the problem. If you're struggling with that. Today, I don't find that being an issue considering our unique surface of our wood. So, okay, now we've burnished. We're going to now peel this. We're going with gravity to peel this away. Turning it upside down. Yep, peeling this away from our mat. Don't snap your mat either. Lots of things to worry about. This is laying flat. What do we do now, you ask? We burnish again. So we burnished it down. Now we're burnishing the back to say, hey, I want you to stick to the transfer tape now, please. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So now what we're going to do.
Once again, working with gravity.
Yes.
Gravity is your friend.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Look at that. Oh my, the Lord is with us today, y'all.
Yes.
That established 2022. Praise God.
And
I feel Jesus here.
when I first started
I
know. When I first started using the die cutting machine, I had so much trouble. I hated weeding. I was like you guys.
Yeah.
But learning all of these things, it is so important that you do, like, you keep up with these steps because it makes life so much easier.
It does. It really, really does. Now, look at this. So we're going to line up our established 2022 on the line. And then look at how Crawford is perfectly just right in the middle. So that is going to be so good. I like to do the taco method once again. Laying it flat. And then once the established is lined up, we can lay it down. And we can grab our burnishing tool again and just lay it out. Now for this, for some reason, this came out darker than our finished. I'll bring in our finished in a minute.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Look at this, y'all. We're burnishing again. And then we're going to peel it back. We're peeling it back. So we're just going to have this down here. Sometimes you have to tell it to stay down. So I grabbed it. And you can just like get the burnishing tool. Be sure to burnish. Like, I am always a fan of burnishing really, really good.
We had somebody ask, what does burnished mean?
There's Google definitions. You could pull it up if you wanted to Google it. You don't have to. There's people that have questioned my burnished description. Burnishing just means like we are kind of making sure it transfers over. That's a great question. I could pull out my Cricut Bible and tell you the correct definition as well. You could also reuse this transfer tape. I just want to let you all know. Well, I just ripped it a bunch. But anyway.
Not if you rip it, but you get the, you know.
Yes, look at this. So this is what you're able to make. This is the lighter stain, which I recommend with the brown. So that's awesome. And will you drop Molly Cares the link for Design Make Sale? It is in our special links. Yes, Molly Cares. You can sign up for that. Yay! I love it. But yeah, this is awesome.
And we've also had some friends ask, how do you move your fonts or cut files from your membership to Design Space? So what you would do is you would go in there, actually where Tanner was at right there.
Yeah, download
you would hit the little cloud with the arrow, and that's going to download your font. You're going to go open that up, and then you are going to click on that and then install font. And this is all on
super simple.
This is on Mac, but it's very similar on Windows. And then you would close out Design Space and reopen it, and it should already be there. But
what I really want to encourage you all is we have a video for each. So uploading a font really slowly, uploading a cut file really easily, both in there when you get the membership. So we'll walk with you, we'll help you get started, and you'll love it. So that is super, super exciting, and I cannot wait. But for our friends that are like, Lauren, this was such a fun project.
I know.
I feel like so giddy for all of you that are getting a Cricut for the first time.